Yo, what's going on? It is Mr. Young.
And it's for in the building. Happy fasting, everybody. Whoever is
Yes.
fasting, happy Ramadan.
Hope everybody is doing well as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching this on a Tuesday, but we're recording it at a different time. And a little bit later on, we have a special guest joining us on the show. You might see a little bit of a magical clothing change. That is the magic.
Haircut change as well.
A haircut change as well. That's the magic of recording at a different time on a different day.
Yeah, guys. For some context, I know some of you guys have been calling us out. Hey, why you all haven't gone live stream for a while? Please understand, your boy is fasting. You know, I gotta prioritize that. And also, we got a bunch of awesome guests the last couple of weeks, and
Absolutely.
we gotta cater to their schedule. Can't be the. I mean, we're very potato. You see the SPD interview. He recording from his office. You know, we have to like crunch a bit. Later, all his colleagues see.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta make it happen. We'll do our best.
But we appreciate that we got to chat with him and find out a very different side of him. If you've only known him from his shenanigans as Sean P. Diddy in Grapplemax, then you will see a very different side of him. And I think you'll appreciate what he does a little bit more. But yes, that chat is coming up in just a little while. As always, hey, we have a Discord. Come join the Discord. Link is in the bio. All kinds of chats going on there. Whatever style of wrestling you love. You love Japanese wrestling. You love local wrestling. WWE, AEW. We have different sections for all the fans to talk about it.
Yeah, and definitely, I think, you know, with WrestleMania season coming up, we are kind of knee deep in WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
The Discord is always popping. And also shout out to all our patrons. You guys have helped increase the number of patrons there thanks to your support. So we really appreciate it as well.
We love you, patrons, but we love everybody also lah. But thank you so much for helping us, proverbially keep the lights on, right?
Yeah.
On the road to WrestleMania. Oh, by the way, before we get to that, lots of awesome perks in Patreon. You know, we've been hard at work. Like Mr. Young, you know me, I'm a talker, I ain't a writer. But then when I was given the task to write, I was like, oh my God, okay. Have I ever shown you this blog I wrote one time many years ago? 20
Mr.
years almost.
Young, you got a blog, blogspot.com, is it?
Not Blogspot, like 15 years ago, you know, MediaCorp, they tried to enter the blog space, okay?
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
they made I think it was called Moblog.
Wow, it's coming back to me, man.
Yeah, and somebody shared with me on my personal gaming Discord, right? Old archived like Moblog. Because, okay, you know, everything that's on the internet has ever been on the internet will be somewhere on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Someone actually found the archive link, and I actually did written reviews of like WWF pay-per-views.
Wait. So back in 2008, you were reviewing shows from the 90s, or
as in no, from the like when the shows would happen like in the 2000s,
wow.
and I was putting them up there. I was like, oh wow, a little writer going on here. But of course, I never kept that up because you know I rather talk about it than write about it. To be honest.
I mean, but interestingly, so you're through this recent SW20 campaign that we're doing, you're kind of reconnecting with the inner writer in you somehow.
In a way, yeah, absolutely. So, okay, the reason I bring this up is because every time there's a local event, like you talk about the Singapore wrestler rankings and ratings that we have, right? What we do is on our Patreon, we do a little bit of a write-up, and, we put on our scores, our quote-unquote star ratings, and we try to give constructive feedback as to what worked, what didn't work, and more importantly, at the end of the year, we want to celebrate, you know, the very best of Singapore wrestling and Singapore wrestlers.
Yeah, so just for context, at the end of the year, the Singapore Wrestler Top 20 will be announced. We'll have the list, we'll do the countdown, we'll have an analysis of everyone's performance, and they will go into our yearly Kick to the Gut Awards 2024, right? So we will announce and award the Best Local Wrestler and Young Boy Rising Star Award through a more, I would say, fair rating criteria.
Now, interestingly enough, and you want to call this a bit of a tickle, a little bit of a tease, sure, because we won't jump into it yet, but apparently we've gotten our first threat as it relates to this list that we are doing.
The SW20, yes.
Apparently, we have ruffled some feathers. Apparently, some people really want to be on the list. And while there are threatening certain actions, apparently there was a threat of arson.
I didn't know about that, but I saw it after the fact. But what I can tell you was, over the weekend, I was also at the SPW event, Stronghold, right? I've had a wrestler come up to me and say, hey, I purposely do this move, introduce this new style, because I want to catch your attention, guys. I want to be
Is
part of
that
the SW20.
right? Right,
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. So we'll put it out on socials soon, because we managed to get a couple of interviews thanks to our interns extraordinaire, Saleh.
Yeah.
So this SW20 is heating up. It's not just in Grapplemax.
Okay.
SPW wrestlers are hearing about it and wanting to be on the list. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to be part of this ranking booking committee, please consider joining us on Patreon. Link in the description. You see all those stickers, all those names. They're part of it as well.
And we appreciate that. Once again, I want to put that out there, right? Please do you. Do what makes sense for you. Okay? Don't just anyhow add a triple flip just because you want to be on some rating scale. Okay? This is not the Dave Meltzer PWI whatever index. Okay? I do not reward triple flips for no reason. There has to be a reason for everything you do.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're giving recognition and we're trying to elevate the scene in our own way, but we're also giving feedback to help people improve. Not saying that we are like some star trainer or we know like we are like a wrestler extraordinary, but we are wrestling fans, and I think wrestling fans know what works and what doesn't work because we will watch it, right? If it works.
Absolutely.
Right?
So okay. That being said, yes, can't wait to find out who exactly threatened to burn down the studio. On social media,
When they say studio, I really can't tell. Mr. Yang, is it going to be your house studio?
Yeah,
is it going to be my room?
Pretty much. So I take huge offense to that. Pretty much.
Okay, we'll just have to wait and see later on when we talk about the SPW Stronghold review.
Also, it would be hilarious if we were still recording in the old studio, which is my Power 98 studio, which is in CMPB, because that one hilarious if that thread went out.
You try.
That one, all of a sudden,
you see.
People knocking on your door. Very good.
Don't play.
Right.
Well, we shall recover from that. But before we go into all the local wrestling stuff or the chatter about local wrestling, can we kind of review and look back at this past week in the wider wrestling world?
Yes.
The two major promotions, WWE and AEW.
Okay, foreign. I have a bone to pick with you at this point.
You want to scratch my bone? Why?
No, what? No, I have a bone. It's a saying anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not enough. We're getting threats. Now something is tearing us apart, bro.
I
feel very sad.
What happened, bro?
Last week's show, on the previous episode, previously on Kick to the Gut, you talked about how, Dynamite was actually very interesting to watch. You know the episode where Okada debuted and you had the Young Bucks, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, right? I remember you were like, all right, you know what, Mr. Young, you should go and watch that episode. It was actually not bad. So I went and watched that episode. And...
okay, I'm hearing, I'm all
okay, I am sorry, but at this point, right, the Young Bucks, they have X-Pac go away heat. And that's the last people you want to put with a hot new signing like Okada. Like, every time they come on and they do their shtick, it's like, that. How do I put this? It's like, why do I want to watch bad acting? So it was insufferable. And the whole show was kind of like, it wasn't like, okay, the action wasn't bad, but it just wasn't good. Okay, you know what AEW is? It's just not good TV, is what it is. People always say, oh, Mr. Young, don't compare. You shouldn't compare WWE. I'm comparing with entertainment as a whole. AEW is just not good television. There's no payoffs. There's no reason to watch. Every week is sort of like kind of the same thing, And I watched this week's AEW as well. And yes, we'll get to it, right? The Mercedes Moné debut. Did you see the ratings, by the way?
I did see both ratings the last 2 weeks coming out of AEW Revolution.
So, first of all, last week, the post-Revolution, there was no buzz. The ratings were not great, right? So you think that, yes, Mercedes Moné, they had been hinting already. Short of saying, Sasha Banks is coming, they pretty much announced that Mercedes Moné was coming. And they did it in Boston. This is like their standard already. Debut a wrestler in their hometown to guarantee the pop.
Yeah.
Like CM Punk in Chicago, and then Mercedes Moné in Boston, right? So we start off with Mercedes Moné coming in a Mercedes, of course, right? They showed the shot of Mercedes a little bit on the dot, on the nose. We get it, right?
Yeah. I think he's trying to get a sponsorship from Mercedes at this point.
I think so, a bit. Huge pop. Don't get me wrong. It's like, if you were watching this for the first time, you're like, wow, who is this star? This is somebody, right? And then, the pageantry, she has the awesome, like, outfits. And then, her hair is always on fleek.
What about that team, bro? Tell me your thoughts on that.
The first thing that came to mind, I know you mentioned this on Discord, it was the same thing that came to my mind. Hey, this one Gunther song, It is the I forgot what it's a Beethoven. It's a classical piece, right? It's a very famous piece. Yeah. So she uses the tune in her intro. I'm like, hey, Gunther's, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a copyright-free song, lah.
Yeah.
To be fair, but yeah, of course she did like a remix to it. But funnily enough, right? I don't want to set the tone for this review, but I actually put up a poll on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And I say, what you guys think of the song? And I put the poll is either flames or trash. Guess how many got 75%? Which one of the two got 75%?
Trash.
Yes. Okay. And then the one that voted flames, right, is your usual suspects.
The AEW fans.
Yes, the AEW fans. So it's very interesting to see. And I'm not biased in any way in terms of like, I just put it out there. I just want to see what people's thoughts in general.
Okay, at this point, right, I feel like we should just stop saying that. Oh, I'm not being like we try so hard to be objective, but then we also have to justify. I'm over trying to justify being critical. You know what I mean? I'm very over that.
Where's the line between like you're critical for it because you are being critical, or maybe because you are very used to WWE's style, so that anything else different is?
I just said it just now. I compare this to entertainment, to television. This is what this. I am not comparing it to the WWE. I'm comparing it to television as a whole. Right? Is this a show, 2-hour show, that's going to keep me watching? I'll tell you right now, and the ratings bore it out exactly. I stopped watching halfway through AEW after the Mercedes Moné debut, and then the main event wasn't the title match wasn't the main event. The main event was like Willow versus
Riho.
Riho, sorry. Willow versus Riho, right?
Yes.
Like, I have no interest in watching that at all. Nobody gives a right? And I know that Mercedes Moné did a thing where, Willow and I have unfinished business. Even that wasn't enough because Willow is not a star. Nobody knows who Willow is or cares who Willow is, right? Except for the diehard AEW fans. It's not like The Rock shows up and he says, I have unfinished business with Seth Rollins, and then Seth Rollins is in the main event. At least Seth Rollins is a big enough name that we're like, let's see what happens. I don't give a flying F about Sasha Banks versus Willow. Not one damn.
Well, for me, right, so a lot of people think that, I'm just trying to be objective for the sake of being objective. They're like, fine, is it really that good? Why are you trying to justify?
Yeah.
But for me, right, I think I've opened my mind to like, okay, I understand this is AEW's style. Their style is going to be, they're going to have these so-called dream matches. They're going to put people based on different styles. The storyline maybe secondary is more about the wrestling, right? It has worked in certain aspects, right? Ring of Honor, sometimes NXT, but we realize, and I think everyone has kind of accepted, right? If you want wrestling to be popular, it's not enough that it's just about the wrestling. Like we know that. We know for a fact that the most popular style of wrestling, whether it's because it's North American style of wrestling that is the mainstream, people expect stories to be told. People expect he's fighting this guy because this guy is not happy with this guy, or there's some storyline, right? The Japanese style of wrestling where it's just about matches and fighting spirit and all that, they have an audience, but you can tell the audience is way smaller than the casuals.
Absolutely, because it's a form of entertainment that's not. You will only appreciate it if it's something that you appreciate. It's like, okay, let me give you an example, right? You watch a television series. Is the story like quite boring? It's not very engaging, but the special effects are freaking awesome. That's what AEW is. It's like, wow, the special effects, like, quote unquote, the technical shooting, the ability of the cameras, like, you know what I mean? The cinematography is great. But the show, like, there's nothing to look forward to next week. That's what AEW is to me.
So Avatar lah, basically.
I've never watched the second movie. I didn't like the first movie. I thought it was boring.
But the crazy thing is, it's the highest grossing film. Like, you got $1 billion. I don't understand who's watching it. But you can't use the same argument on AEW.
No, you can't. Well, that's the thing about Avatar. I know this is a bit of sidetrack, but do you remember when Avatar came out? It was during
2009. Yeah.
the boom of 3D. It was the first legit 3D movie. So I feel like in a lot of ways, it benefited from that because there was a gimmick. It was a gimmick match that everyone bought into the gimmick. Wow, 3D, wow. And then after that, that whole genre died. That's why Avatar 2 didn't do great.
Yeah. Okay, so my question is, right. So you watched AEW the last 2 weeks. You clearly didn't enjoy it all the way through, and the ratings seem to reflect that. The ratings didn't get a pop, that we didn't get the 1 million viewers that we thought we would get from Mercedes Moné.
They did get a good start because, of the anticipation. But yeah, by the time the main event came around, it was like, the average was, I think, around 800,000.
Yeah, 800,000.
So they lost quite a bit along the way because the rest of the show wasn't compelling. They don't have stars, and
And it's almost as if like we can't really tell whether that initial jump, right, in bump in the rating, was it because of Mercedes Moné or was it for the Big Bang? Yeah,
the Big Bang.
Yeah. So it's very hard to say, and it's almost as if they get less than just nice 800, just above 800k, right? That means, right, no matter how high of a rating Mercedes Moné got, maybe we'll check the quarter ratings after this. Maybe she got 1 million people at the start. But that means the rest of the show kept consistently losing viewers to the point that the average went down.
Yeah, to 800,000. That's exactly it, right? And you had a main, quote unquote, a title match, a main event match that wasn't the main event. That was Wardlow versus Samoa Joe. Right?
Yeah, which was the opening match, in a way.
Yeah. It's two heels, and Wardlow, they're trying to heat him up again, but they haven't heated him up to a point where, wow, now I'm excited to see him versus Samoa Joe in the main event. You know what I mean? It's like...
I just explaining why.
Okay, we hit a bit of a lags patch there. Haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, you know why? Because we're talking shit about Tony Khan, bro. Tony Khan is listening.
Very scary, It's really almost legit, Okay,
go ahead.
Everything's good. Everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good.
No, I think I read an article where Bryan Danielson was kind of explaining that why he didn't become champion. Why didn't he become AEW World Champion? And then he talked about, like, we should use our star power to build other stars, the newer stars, people like Swerve, people like Hangman Page, MJF. These are the people that deserve to be the ones at the forefront, and his job is to push people. But I would respectfully disagree with Bryan Danielson. I feel like for the legacy of the AEW World Championship, you want to build these stars, you got to make like these established people the champion. You need to have like Adam Copeland wear that title, Bryan Danielson wear that title, so that when, like, a Hangman Page beats them or Swerve beats them, it becomes a bigger deal. Okay, right now they're doing it right. They're having Samoa Joe as a champion, right?
Yeah.
But I would like to argue that ever since Bryan Danielson, Adam Copeland go to AEW, they lost a lot of their mainstream appeal. I do not know why. It's just the way they are presented in AEW doesn't feel like a big deal.
You just said it. It's the presentation. They've been made to look like just any other. It's like, if you see The Rock, I'll give you an example from the WWE. Like, I hope The Rock doesn't stick around too long. Because if we see The Rock every week, he becomes not special anymore. He becomes just, it's The Rock lah. We see him every week. What's this, point?
I would argue it's not an AEW issue exclusively, because, like, I can argue that, Sami Zayn isn't as hot as he was last year, right? LA Knight had a great peak, but I feel he's a bit lost in the shuffle because, bigger stars are in. Sure. Even to a certain extent, I feel like Gunther, I feel like lost in the shuffle because, he it's almost as if the IC title is almost beneath him at this point.
Yeah.
So it's I wouldn't say it's just an AEW issue, but I think AEW is lacking in that star power because their supposed stars are not being presented like stars.
Yeah. Either they're being too nice or whatever the situation is, We can go at length about.
We can list off like 5 people, like, off the top of my head, like Saraya.
Yeah.
Freaking, you don't even need to say, like, with Britt Baker, Push, Ricky Starks. Bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago already. Like, if Mercedes Moné come to AEW, she will come off right off the bat treated like a
Hot.
star.
Yeah.
How long can they keep it up? Is she gonna regress to the mean and become just any other wrestler? That's the problem.
As much as I want to be positive and say, yeah, she's gonna change. No, she's not. It's just gonna be same old thing because that's how things are run there. And the thing is, who is she gonna feud with that's gonna be high profile?
Okay, so we always need to have a negative spin about AEW. If you want to kind of turn the tables, if we are the bookers right now, if you are the one that is being tasked to be the Will Washington or whoever it is that is in charge of the creative team, we know the positives, right? AEW has a very stacked roster. How can we make them compelling television to watch on Dynamite?
Hang on, they do not have a stacked roster. A stacked roster implies that they have a roster of people that the audience gives a shit about.
We're trying to put a positive spin. So we're saying that they have talents that can become stars. So how can we make them a big deal? How can we make the television entertaining?
Okay, so as it relates to Sasha Banks, right? Okay. Is it wrong for me to say that even though, yes, I agree that Sasha Banks had a lot of really epic matches with Bayley and she was part of the revolution in the WWE, right? She as a promo is not great. I do not remember any great promos from Sasha Banks. She is more of a presentation. She is a vibe. She is boss girl, you know, or backstabber because she would always turn on people. She's more of a character than a promo person. Like for me, Sasha Banks is all about presentation. And for me, Sasha Banks needs to work as a heel.
Yeah. She needs to go against a very lovable babyface who can carry the load in the promos, right?
Correct, yeah. The babyface does the promos. She's the one that backstabs and does the underhanded tactics. You know, and okay, so like, I know she calls herself CEO because the boss, she cannot take that trademark. She cannot use that trademark, right? But what does that mean? Does she actually have a title of CEO or is it just a gimmick?
Yeah, it's just a gimmick, right?
Because you see, you are in a company that has EVPs who are actual EVPs. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, so that's just a gimmick lah. That's you don't actually hold any power lah. Okay, then what are you exactly?
You know what? I would have wanted to see her if she wants to be called herself a CEO.
Yeah,
it would have been a natural fit to put her together with the Young Bucks in a very weird way.
Yeah, I mean, as a quote-unquote authoritarian figure, a heel, right?
Yes, and this goes into the point about trying to tell stories through AEW, right? We don't want Sasha Banks to go to AEW just become Sasha Banks, right?
Yeah.
We want to see something different. Imagine she actually aligned herself with the Young Bucks and Okada. Then suddenly, all of a sudden, you have this authority stable in AEW.
Yeah. Okay, you know what the problem with that is? It's a group of people, or it's an entire stable of people who can't freaking talk.
I was just about to say that. Who's going to carry the promo work?
No, yeah, none of them. Young Bucks think they can carry the promo. They cannot. They are awful promos because they do not have the gravitas or the... Like, nothing about them. Like, they're supposed to be these sniveling heel managers now, right?
Yeah.
And they are throwing all the tropes out there. Like, it's almost eye-rolling. Like, if you're trying too hard to throw a trope and to say the words, it means you're coming off fake. It's just, to me, it's just bad acting.
Okay, so looking at the lay of the land, looking at all the talents in AEW, who should be the one that is prominently featured and what is a potential big story that they can tell with what they have right now?
You're talking about in relation to the women's division lah, Moné lah, only.
With Moné and overall.
I mean, is it too late to bring Saraya back into the limelight, or is she like you know?
No, I think
faded off into the background already.
I think she should go back into the limelight. They're
because
paying her money, right?
Yeah, she can't. I have not enjoyed her promos. That's the other thing, and you know, damn it, like you see, you talk about this stacked roster. Who? Britt Baker. Okay, Britt Baker has been away, and we know she's a good promo. Her in-ring is a bit like hit or miss, to be honest, right? Britt Baker.
I would say bring Britt Baker back. Bring Britt Baker like I would say the reason, you know, all these wrestlers are trying to vie for a spot in AEW. Like, she can be the gatekeeper in AEW. And she's been missed. You know, people are missing her. Like, hey, we haven't seen Britt Baker in a long time.
But she'll be cheered as a face. So you are saying turn Sasha Banks heel. I mean, Mercedes Moné.
Yeah, turn her heel. You know, have Britt Baker come back and have that feud go off into Dynasty, whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. I do not know because now she's like kind of feuding with Willow. I don't know whether she's gonna have like a one-off match with Willow before she goes off to other things.
But she helped Willow, what? So they're going to do it like what? Friendly rivalry deal. Like, oh.
That's why I was saying, but between Willow and Sasha, right? Sasha is the more likely to turn heel. So this could be like a ruse before she becomes the full-on evil CEO. So
yeah.
So one thing I must say about AEW is they have been subverting expectations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay is well known for being a heel in New Japan. Okada is known for being the top babyface in New Japan. They come to AEW, they completely switch roles, right? So at least they're giving something new, but how can they build on it? So that's the question. So right now they're trying to make. Essentially, they traded Jake Cargill for Mercedes Moné. To me, that's an upgrade, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so they have that. So they need Mercedes Moné to keep on that momentum, give her some wrinkle to her character, turn her heel, whatnot, right? For Okada, I think Okada, yes, turning him heel, giving him some sort of edge, being aligned with the most despicable heels, the Young Bucks, not necessarily a bad thing, but he needs to have a better mouthpiece beyond like the Young Bucks, right?
They are not despicable heels. They are annoying heels. Get it? I mean, like that distinction has to be made. They haven't done anything, but look, they fired Adam Cole. I mean, not Adam Cole.
Adam Page.
Adam Page. From their stable, not from the company. Like, what the f is that? Oh, you can't be a part of our group anymore. They fired Kenny Omega. Like, they think that this is getting them heat. I watched that segment and I rolled my eyes so hard. Like, you kicked them out of your group. Big deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole the elite thing, it's like, and they didn't even do it in the ring. It wasn't a thing where, you know, they beat him up or anything like that, right? They just verbally said it. It was like, it's like watching an episode of Secret Invasion. They are talking about all these amazing things that happen, but they never show. So it's like, what a waste of time.
The problem is, Young Bucks are not going away anytime soon. They have claimed their EVP-ness and entrenched themselves into the fabric of AEW, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing we can do is work around that. It's like we have to deal with Mr. McMahon. You have to work around Mr. McMahon, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think Okada needs to be presented like a Yakuza boss, man. Like make him evil, despicable, menacing, can freaking clothesline your head off. Give him some sort of mouthpiece. And I'm not even talking like freaking Don Callis or what. Like, I don't want Don Callis.
So what you're saying is make him Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you just said. Oh, no. We can't compare. You know, we can't copy the WWE. We can't do what makes sense.
Some people saying that he looks like the Japanese Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
but,
because of the blonde hair. Look, okay, like if you want to go that route, but you need to surround yourself with a Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is a lot of what makes the bloodline work, right? Yeah. You can have two goofy henchmen, sure, the Young Bucks fit that role, but you need, first of all, he himself, because English is not his first language, it doesn't come off menacing. And I don't know if he's ever been menacing. He's been a hero this whole time, like, you know?
Yeah.
But has he ever been menacing?
He has had a heel run here and there, but of course, he's not as well known as his babyface run, right?
Yeah.
So he needs, but looking down like the roster, I do not know who will have that personality or charisma to kind of fit with him.
The
and
closest,
also be able to tell the story.
Closest is Don Callis, lor.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
As a manager, yeah.
Yeah, but of course, Don Callis is doing his own thing with his family and whatnot. And he really got his prodigy, the Japanese prodigy in Takeshita. That's his Japanese guy. Right?
Yeah. And they got Will Ospreay. And then there's that whole thing with him and his family that doesn't make sense. And as it is, Will Ospreay is already doing too much. You know, remember we talked about him changing his style, hopefully, you know, adapting to a more weekly television style. Already he's doing too much. He had that match with, what's his
Carl
face?
Fletcher.
Fletcher, right? Which was a really good match, but it's, once again, it's one of those indie matches where they go all out.
Yeah, so Ospreay, I know clearly that's the trade-in from CM Punk, right? They traded CM Punk for Ospreay.
Yeah.
Granted, Ospreay is like probably like what, a decade younger, 15 years younger.
Way more athletic.
Way more athletic. So he's an upgrade in terms of work rate. He doesn't get injured, so not like CM Punk.
No, but it's the it's the up here. It's the getting people in the door without actually having to fall off a ladder.
Yeah. That's why, honestly, I actually like Ospreay and Bryan Danielson, right? Because Danielson will at least slow him down. or Danielson will at least try to give him some psychology, and there's something there, right? But again, he needs to build up his wins. He need to let him work with Adam Copeland, or let him work with people who actually I trust in the ring, right?
Yeah. Speaking of Adam Copeland, how excited are you for this I Quit match?
So in Collision, actually this morning, right? We're recording this on Sunday. He actually revealed Barbie. Remember Barbie from back in the day?
You mean Spike?
Yeah, Spike. Yeah. So Spike is the more extreme version of Barbie, and he said he did mention that he actually got this gift from Mick Foley, or he's bringing back a bit of his hardcore style from back in the day.
So it's a piece of wood with spikes sticking. It's a spike club basically.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the clip on Instagram.
Yeah, so we shall see some very unbridled violence. I don't hate it, but I think we've realized that this is why this is not a WrestleMania level feud, right?
Nope.
Like, as great as Adam Copeland and Christian Cage is, and their history and all that, being in AEW, it feels like a mid-card feud.
It could have been a WrestleMania feud, right? But
with the right story, with the presentation of the WWE.
But we can't compare. Like, comparison is not right. When we look at these things objectively, if we're being objective, we shouldn't compare. Like, look, at the end of the day, to me, they've definitely botched every presentation of all the big stars that have come in. They've become inconsequential. And now they have to resort to over-the-top violence, overdoing it just to try to get that attention back. And it's not working because it's seen from top to bottom. Everybody's doing crazy shit. The crazy shit doesn't seem crazy anymore. We've said this over and over again. If you're doing the same thing all the time, then nothing you do is going to stand out anymore. If you are dropping people on the back of their necks and missing the turnbuckle, or whatever that horrendous spot was. Yeah, I'm talking about Ospreay versus Takeshita.
Yeah.
The inverted suplex, and then they dropped him. I think it was supposed to go onto the top turnbuckle, but then he basically dropped him on his neck.
Yeah.
And he gets up after that. You're just making the whole thing seem fake as already.
My biggest issue, and I challenge Tony Khan, please don't keep collecting wrestlers like toys,
Look, it's his money, bro. He can do whatever he wants. And once again, right, I don't fault Mercedes or Okada for signing these contracts. They're like, hell yeah. Wasn't there a report, the rumor that her Moné's contract with AEW makes her the most well-paid female wrestler in the world.
On the planet, yeah.
On the planet, yeah. So you pay that much for Mercedes Moné, and you don't get like a Charlotte Flair level character or Becky Lynch level superstar. Good for you. Good for you she got the bag. Way to go.
For me, it's fine. You want to buy wrestlers, fine. Then fire those wrestlers that are doing nothing on your roster. So what I'm saying is, right, don't keep buying wrestlers where you already have wrestlers. Why are you not doing something with the wrestlers that you already have, right? WWE built their stars. People who have been in the mid-card for a long time, they started pushing them, building their characters.
Yep.
Now Jey Uso is a main event guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying is, they have stars there that is being overlooked. And that's why people like freaking Andrade went back to WWE. That's why Cody Rhodes eventually went back to WWE, because you have these people that's been there putting in the work, grinding. Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks should be in the main event scene. Do not keep buying stars and completely neglect all the other stars that you had all this while. That's my point.
Yeah. Wow. We all know he just wants his playthings and he doesn't know what to do with them once he's gotten them. Get better writers. Do a better television product. Nobody's saying that the wrestlers have no talent. Of course, they're all you got legends, legit legends in there, but they're all presented like shit.
Bro, Claudio Castagnoli.
Who is that? Who? Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But once again, we cannot assume that they feel they get to do what they want to do. Like, for example, a person like Jon Moxley, right? This is the perfect place for him. He's getting paid, probably very well, and he can do whatever the hell he wants. He's happy, so let him do it. Whether or not we want to watch him is a completely different story. I don't think he gives a crap.
Yeah, but some people say that they are not even wanting to do any of the things that Tony Khan is asking them to do. They just straight up say no.
No, and then they're okay with it lah. He's okay with that lah.
Yeah, okay, so what I'm saying is they do have a chance to. They are refreshing their roster. They are bringing in new talent, and I don't like it because to me it's that's what you do with your previous talent, right? But now that they have these people, they have all these new players on the chessboard. Let them mix it up. Let them build better stories. I just want to have better stories. And don't tell me, just watch on their YouTube. Their YouTube got great content. To me, it's like that's a symptom of the hardcore fan where I will just devour everything. But if you really want to build them to be a star, look at The Rock. The Rock cut a freaking 10-minute promo on social media and still repeated a lot of the same points on TV to help, so that the casual fans, people who watch it, are aware.
I don't freaking watch his 20-minute runs on social media. I love The Rock. I don't have that much time, or I don't care that much, right? But yeah, no, that's exactly it. Like, they do it so well. They understand a presentation to the mainstream audience. They understand that you need to hit the bullet points and then bam. So that they can cut it. And even if they go a bit long, they'll cut it into a nice little package. You pay attention to all these things. It's a presentation thing. WWE, if there's one thing they do best, it's maybe they don't even tell stories that well. It's they know how to present things to dumb Fs like us, the mainstream audience, right? Call it what you want.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, I want AEW to succeed, and I've always wanted AEW to succeed. It's more about knowing what works, right? Yeah. You can be different. I feel like you can tell a story or like a wrestling based product, make the wrestling the forefront. But even UFC fights, the way they build their fights, right? Yeah. I do not know anything about these people, but I see the 3-minute promo. Yeah. Okay, now I want this guy to be that guy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. They tell their stories, like they give you a reason to support them. Whether it's something as simple as this is the hometown hero, or they had to fight through poverty to get there, or they had a hard childhood, whatever it is. Yeah, you understand, you learn their story. As opposed to, oh, this one is a champion in Japan, this one was a champion in Russia, and now they are fighting. It's a dream match, y'all. It's a dream match. Huh? But I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, I want to know their motivation. I want to know why Kyle O'Reilly is back and what I saw he put stuff on social media, how his recovery. I want to see that on TV. I want to see that at Dynamite right before he goes to have his comeback match, right? So these are opportunities that they can tell, and I hope they make use of their television well, whether it's Collision, Rampage, or Top to supplement Dynamite.
Bro, you let me know because I tried. I watched 2 episodes. 1.5 episodes because I couldn't get past the Moné episode. After the halfway point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I watched the title match already. There's nothing else to. I'm not sticking around for Riho versus Willow.
Yeah, but you know what? Shout out to our friends Gaddafi, Najwan. People who are watching AEW consistently. Keep telling us what's good about it. So I would want to check it out. Right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Didn't Okada have a match as well?
Okada have had 2 matches since he come back, but it's all like 6 men, I believe.
Yeah, that's 2 matches too many already. If you want him to be the Yakuza boss or whatever, like the badass final boss type, he's had too many matches already. He shouldn't. He should. Going back to that whole thing, right? If you want to really do that, have him be in matches. If he ever has a single match, have him destroy people. And that's why he doesn't show up once in a while. Like, they keep talking about him being the greatest wrestler ever. So
why are you letting him wrestle all the time?
Yeah.
Make people want to pay for it.
It's a presentation thing. Once again, they don't understand presentation. Have him show up. Yes, you advertise him, have him show up, have him be a presence, but he's not going to wrestle.
I would say MJF as a heel was actually the best use of character. He wrestled less, but every match he wrestled was important and a big deal.
Other than the stars that they've brought in, who have they created as a star? Other than MJF.
MJF is the only guy.
Yeah. Arguably he was there at that level in large part because of his feud with CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk was... CM Punk, to me, is integral part of why AEW is successful, or has the success they had.
Yeah. And then, why listen to a guy with, advice and all that kind of stuff? Like, you don't need that. You just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We've actually dedicated quite a significant chunk of time to AEW. You want to talk about WWE, bro, and SmackDown and The Rock?
You got me all fired up. Okay, The Rock. Let's talk about The Rock. It's weird, lah. It's the same thing that I've said for the past few weeks, right? He goes out there, he does his shtick, his old school Hollywood Rock. He even came out to his old Hollywood Rock.
Oh yes,
in entrance. So they are listening.
I popped for that, and he's smart. He didn't bring it back wholesale. He still kept the thunder, the lightning. Yeah. And then he got the old saw and then transition to the 2003 team.
Correct.
They're evolving the team, and I love that.
It felt a bit long. his whole like segment where
20
he
minutes
sang,
long.
Yeah, it felt a bit long. I'm like, this is not the Rock of old. I would have like given more time to, or maybe I'm just getting a little bit more impatient. Whatever it is, right? So,
You know what's funny? Like, the bloodline wasn't involved. Roman Reigns didn't appear on SmackDown this past week. But what my favorite part about his promo, right, was actually not even him singing anymore. Like, the singing was just that was his cringe stuff, right?
Yeah, it was a bit cliche. And once again, I wonder if it's just a sign of the times. That would have worked, in the mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, it's kind of cringe.
But what was more compelling was after that, when he started talking about Mama Rhodes and talking about what he was going to do.
Yeah. That felt like, okay, now he's being a real dick, like,
And menacing.
And menacing. Yeah. The singing stuff, for whatever reason, doesn't fit with this version. And I think maybe, maybe he's just experimenting. Maybe he wanted to have fun because they were in Tennessee.
Yeah, maybe. But I feel like, what he gave, that sinister, like, I'm going to beat up your son to Mama Rose, give him the blood, give him the belt and all that. That felt like that promo style can fit against Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and the reality-based stuff that is happening now.
Yes. No, 100%. I agree. So yeah, if you cut the singing stuff out, maybe just sing one line. Like, okay, you want to sing in Nashville, sing one line. You cut that singing stuff out, I think that would have been great. That's why I say it felt a bit long.
Yeah. And do you realize that a lot of the matches were cut for time because of what The Rock did?
Yeah. Apparently there's some backstage rumblings of like, how come you give him so much time, blah, blah.
So the thing I don't understand, right? I mean, I know lah, because, The Rock, SmackDown is his show, the Bloodlines on SmackDown. Why can't he do all this shtick on Raw, where there's 3 hours? People won't be sad. People will be like, yes, help me pass the time. These 3 hours.
Yeah. Here it's like, hey, shit, we got no time. Like, hey, go out, wrestlers want to go out and wrestle. Like.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But you know what? I like that, Roman Reigns took a break. And I think Rock is not going to be on TV anymore for the last 2 weeks of television. I hope now the focus shifts back to Roman and Cody. I hope that's the case.
It should. Well, at this point too, like, it's hit that fever pitch of, like, we're 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah.
I'm hyped. And you have people on both sides too. Oh, I want, acknowledge, I want Cody, I want Roman.
Finish the story.
Versus fuck your story.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff. No, I think that they've done a great job building out the road to WrestleMania this year. I think we've clearly seen The Rock's effect. The Rock is bringing back casual fans to watch wrestling nowadays, bro.
Is this the best lead up to a WrestleMania in like the last decade?
I would say so. I mean, The Rock is a cheat code, lah, bro. Having The Rock back, involved, and regular television. These guys still got time to drop a skincare line in between. He really free. He can go Oscars. And still build up WrestleMania. So, can you imagine what Vince McMahon would die for to have this kind of coverage for his WrestleMania? One of his top stars go to an Oscar ceremony, go to television shows.
Well, thank God Vinnie Mac is not booking any of this shit anymore.
Yeah, but I would say, one criticism I would say is, right, bro, Roman Reigns is lost in the shuffle. He feels like a background character, which shouldn't be the case.
See, in Triple H I trust. I feel like that is done on purpose. I feel like that is to create the Bloodline Civil War, like the true Bloodline Civil War. Whether it's Solo suddenly jumping over to the Rock side, and then now you get Roman versus Solo post WrestleMania until you can get to Roman versus Rock, right? Like, I feel like this is done on purpose.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I kind of realized that, Solo doesn't really have a match or have anything happening on WrestleMania.
He's really fit. Yeah.
I have something to propose though.
Okay.
With regards to Solo, to serve the story, right? Because clearly The Rock make fun of Cody Rhodes' mom, make fun of him crying. So if Cody Rhodes, he doesn't like a fire in Cody Rhodes' ass, right? And for him to be like a badass for his next appearance, right?
Yeah.
Then he's gonna come across like a pussy. He's gonna come across like, wow, this guy completely own you, bro.
Yeah.
And then Cody Rhodes did say that he's gonna hunt the bloodline. He's gonna make sure he's gonna take everything away from the bloodline. Bro, what if, right? Cody Rhodes gets so incensed that he gonna personal attack you, attack my mom, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out one of your bloodline members. What if he actually beats up Solo or somehow gets him away and kind of completely destroys him to the point of injuring him, taking him out of the equation before WrestleMania?
Bro, the second you started on that sort of thought, right, I know exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you 100%. He did say the exact words, I'm coming to hunt the bloodline, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the lead up to WrestleMania, he should be going out and trying to injure every member of the Bloodline. And this Rock promo is the perfect sort of like lighting the fire under the ass.
Yeah. He cannot cry anymore already. He already cried enough.
By the
he
way,
really needs to do it.
what did you think of that promo with Michael Cole?
In the context of that night, it was fine. It was emotional. I think we understand his story even more.
Yeah.
But The Rock just completely shit all over.
No, he did. But it's interesting because I was going through the comment section, which is the worst thing you can ever do, by the way, on any WWE. So it's like, oh, you know what, a pussy, what a crybaby. And I was like, because I freaking like teared up.
You felt it, right?
I felt it, bro. I was like, and this is the type of shit we used to give Cody Rhodes shit for in AEW.
Yeah. No, but again, in the right environment, it works, right? I love that sit-down interview, and I thought, it was emotional, and we do know his motivations now. But now I think we all are very clear. Everyone's established motivations.
Yes.
Now they got to start doing stuff.
Yes. Now it's time for the action, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that one year Brock Lesnar was like running over the bloodline with the tractor and the freaking forklift. And remember that time they forklift through the car and then Jay Uso was laughing. He was trying to hide. So they need to do some vehicular assault, like maybe the
vehicular assault. Oh my god.
Bro, Bloodline is coming into the arena all of a sudden.
Bang!
Freaking Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins with baseball bats. Just destroying the windows, trying to take out Solo, whatever it is, bro.
Yeah. No. I think it is definitely going to happen, lah. Now they say, we've seen it happen so many times. Do you remember a few WrestleManias ago, Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, and that vehicular assault segment, right?
They got handcuffed and then they were kicking each other inside the back of the car, police car, and all
and
that.
then they like freaking started fighting in the police car. I'm like, that shit is gonna happen already.
Yeah, so I predict, Raw coming up, it's just gonna be Avengers style Cody Rhodes. It's just gonna start killing people for no reason.
You think about it as a story, like a movie, for example, right? Yeah, the first half is always the setup, You're setting up the emotions, the backstory, the whys. And then when you hit, you're nearing the climax, that's when all the action scenes start happening.
Yeah, this is where it should happen, right? And, I know it's gone under the radar, but to me, Jimmy and Jay cut both equally great promos, Raw and on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So you got Jay kind of, setting the gauntlet. I love that line, me versus me. That was... Wow.
At first I thought he screwed up there. At first I thought he
why you
wanted to
say me
say
versus me?
At first I thought he wanted to say me versus my brother or me versus you. But then after I thought about it, it's like, maybe he meant to say it because they're twins. They're exactly the same, me versus me. Yeah. The thing is, he corrected himself.
Yeah, he said me versus me, then he said Jimmy versus Jay.
Yeah, or me versus you, actually. No, he said, I believe he corrected himself.
Yeah.
Right after, which leads me to think that it was a mistake. But I actually liked the mistake. I'm like, I wish he stuck with it and didn't correct himself.
Yeah, me versus me was a cold line, in my opinion. And you know what's funny, right? I actually watched the whole segment on YouTube. Yeah. Bro, that whole promo was 1 minute long, bro.
Yeah.
1 minute, 2 minutes, 2 minutes only at most.
Look, the thing is with the Usos, right? I think they've always had a really good promo. The problem is when they are promoting without a target. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When it's not focused.
Yeah, like when they're just coming out to hype themselves, their promo can sound a bit like, oh, it's just a bunch of fluff. But when they know exactly who they're targeting, like remember that feud with the New Day, the Usos versus New Day? Like they were cutting really solid promos. And then now they are promoting against each other. They know, who knows your brother better than you, right? So they know how to freaking hit each other's trigger points.
Yeah, and I love it because they've talked about in previous interviews that their dream match at WrestleMania was against each other, They even said with Rikishi as their special guest referee. So I do hope, I'm begging. I know we were begging for this back during the tribal combat days of SummerSlam last year. But bro, I hope they have some sort of contract signing or intermediary session or promo session.
Yeah.
And then they bring out their father. I would love to see Rikishi come back, please.
Isn't he involved in some For the Love of Wrestling event or something?
I don't know. I'm not aware of that.
So he's still very much out and active in the wrestling world. Yeah, come on, Triple H.
Bring back Rikishi, bro.
In Triple H we trust, in Levesque we trust. Come on, do it for the fans.
Bro, what if Rikishi come back, right? And then he was like, I did it.
I did it for the Raw. I did it
For
for
the
the
family.
bloodline.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Yeah. So you see, now Jimmy distracted. Solo get taken out, right?
Yeah.
Then going into the WrestleMania suddenly like, oh, is the bloodlines on the on like the ropes? Are they in trouble? Then imagine suddenly more bloodline members start to appear. One time Tama Tonga come back. You know what I mean?
What is it? Tama Tonga that's free agent now?
Free agent, yes, Tama Tonga from New Japan.
But isn't he Tonga from Tonga?
No. Tama Tonga is actually the son of Tonga Kid or Tonga Leo. But anyway, they are part of the Anoi family.
Okay. They got link one lah. Got some link.
All link, bro. So I tell you, Nia Jax doesn't have a match. I'm just saying there are other ways to introduce more characters into the Bloodline storyline.
Oh my god. Can you imagine Nia Jax joins the Bloodline? The amount of heat she will get on top of the heat she already has.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be incredible if she does. Okay, they need a girl enforcer there somewhere, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ava.
No.
Ava what? Ava Rain.
Ava Rain.
Oh god. Oh.
Not her, please. She's not ready. She's not ready. Yeah. Okay. So, that's my hope for in the next couple of weeks in terms of leading up for this Bloodline storyline.
Very exciting stuff. Okay. Very quickly, let's talk about. I mean, it's all the Bloodline stuff, right? You got Drew versus Seth as well, which is a bit. It does feel like it's taking a bit of a backseat.
Yeah, that's why.
But it's still going to be an amazing match. Let's talk about the IC. There's something very interesting is happening, right? So you had Sami Zayn beating Chad Gable.
Yes.
Very emotional finish to it as well. Because the way they presented Chad as well with the whole package, once again, is the video production about the daughter and everything like that. Yep. And the quote unquote, the backlash online, people were like booing Sami Zayn. People really suddenly now love Chad Gable, want him to win, to do right by his family. So I'm like, they're doing a perfect job of storytelling. And this is a guy that was doing comedy segments for like the past however many months. Suddenly, like, oh my God, like, yes, let's tell that story, right? Are we going to see a triple threat here for the IC title? Are they somehow going to shoehorn Chad Gable in?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because they did it for the US title, right? They got RKO, Randy, and Kevin Owens to fight against Logan Paul. And it makes perfect sense because, yes, they started something with Randy at Elimination Chamber, but there's unfinished business with Kevin Owens. So it makes sense.
Also, that means Kevin and Randy can do the bulk of the work lah. Then Logan does the crazy shit, the crazy stunts.
And I think it will give Logan an out to retain the title, right? Because they get cancelled out somehow, right? But to put it back to the IC situation, wouldn't it be cool? 40th WrestleMania, they have triple threat for both mid-card titles. I think that would be cool. Each night, there's a triple threat.
No, and see, here's the thing. No, that's exactly. And now there's an actual reason. Like, people want Chad Gable to have his moment. I would liken it to almost if Chad Gable were to win, right? It would be like Zack Ryder winning the Intercontinental title that 1 year. Yeah,
it will be a fairy tale situation. And of course, we all love Sami Zayn, but I did say earlier in the podcast, his heat has really gone down. Like, he is not as big of a deal as he was last year.
Because you see, he's like Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, to a certain extent. There was a moment, there was a point where, everyone was behind him. Yeah. And they capitalized or didn't capitalize on those moments.
Yeah. And I think the moment has passed, and I think he settled back down to that upper main event or mid-card situation.
Yeah.
He still deserves to be in the IC picture. I think he always talk about he wants to, get back to championship goal. But it reminds me of that Chris Benoit, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, WrestleMania 20 triple threat match, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, remember Shawn Michaels and Triple H had this crazy rivalry, and Triple H was like, no, Shawn Michaels was like, this is not over. We need to have that match at WrestleMania. But then one time Chris Benoit come in, win the Royal Rumble, and then inserts himself. And then Shawn Michaels not happy, right? Then Shawn Michaels like, no, I still want to be part of this. It's kind of a similar scenario, right? Like, Sami Zayn deserves to win it.
Yeah.
But Chad Gable not happy. He's gonna somehow force his way into it. And I would love to see them having that triple threat match. I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah. I don't know if Chad should force himself in because he's been such a upstanding, very honorable type of character. I feel like it almost has to be some sort of last chance scramble match or something like that. They can write themselves into it like somehow lah, but you know.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like if you don't have him in the IC title picture, you're not gonna use him well. Like he's not gonna have another like worthy spot on the card. Put him there, 2 triple threat matches. What's the big deal? Put it on one night each. Why not?
Yeah, for sure. Originally, I was like, you know, I had it in my mind they should do a 6-person. They've done it before for Money in the Bank contracts, right?
Yep.
Like do a 6-person intercontinental title match, a ladder match, the one that Zack Ryder won.
Zack Ryder did the same thing.
Yeah,
but
and that's how Chad Cable could, you know, come out like very shockingly win the title there, but they're not going that route because there is a ladder match. It's a tag team. Like how many? 6 team?
6 team tag team. It's gonna be 12 people, bro.
So basically, oh shit, we have no actual matches for the tag teams because our tag team division, even though stacked, they haven't really built a proper story. So we just throw everybody in one match.
Yeah, well, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. I even gives Finn Balor and Damian Priest something to do.
Speaking of Damian Priest, Miss Senor Money in the Bank. When, bro? When?
No, not this WrestleMania. Not yet.
Bro, and okay, how disappointing would it be if he came out to cash in on the IC title?
Nah, it's gonna be a waste. It's completely gonna be a waste. And I honestly, I don't even want him to get involved in the world title picture because it's Drew's time, man. Drew's gonna win it back after all the great heel work that he's been doing. It's gonna be his time.
But and I had a conversation with our friend Lloyd the other day about this, right? At the gym. It's like you can't put Damian Priest, you can't insert him into an already convoluted story. I mean, not convoluted, very well-established storyline, which is the Bloodline storyline. You go and put in one Damian Priest, is like a bit extra, leh. Whereas you put him into the World Championship, at least, okay, you know, they all have a history. And then if Damian Priest does screw Drew out of the title, Drew has one more thing to gripe and complain about.
Yeah. But I feel like they shouldn't throw all their chickens in one egg just because it's WrestleMania. I really feel that. Why you got to do something big for Backlash in France, right? You got to do something big for all the other pay-per-views. Save it, bro. He literally still got 2 more months even after Mania before his so-called contract expires.
For all we know, it could be the Raw after WrestleMania. He comes in and cashes in. You know?
Yeah. I just feel that Drew just needs that moment. He needs that moment with the fans. I think as much as everything he says makes a lot of sense, even as a heel. Like he does speak a lot of sense. So,
what if, bro? What if
yes.
Drew and Seth have an epic match at WrestleMania, but somehow Seth still wins, but he's injured, he's all effed up, right? And then the next day on Raw, Damian Priest cashes in, and then Drew got more to complain about.
Poor Drew, don't fuck with Drew, man. Like Drew, poor thing lah. You fuck with other people, please.
No, because like he's like. We're enjoying him right now because he's cutting all these like it should have been me type promos, right? Like, okay, it's much better than it should have been me, but you know what I'm saying. The impetus for his character right now is because he doesn't have the title. It should be his, and he's pissed about it. Once he gets the title, like, is he still going to remain like that? Like, the promos might not be there anymore because he's already the champion.
But I think that is just underestimating his talent, bro. I feel like, you know, he's been given the freedom a lot. He even managed to stand up to CM Punk and like making CM Punk like an idiot with all the promos.
Make fun of him. So okay, I mean, you know, whenever CM Punk is healthy and he comes back, could be, you know, we get CM Punk versus Drew for the World Heavyweight title.
Don't you want Drew and Punk at SummerSlam or something? I think that's gonna be an amazing, you know, storyline.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah. So I think, you know, respectfully to like your discussion with Lloyd, and hey, tell Lloyd to join us on Patreon lah. He always talk to me about wrestling. Get him involved as well. Okay. But yeah, I think Drew and Seth need to have that one-on-one match. I think Seth being distracted / injured during the tag team match might cause him to lose the title to Drew, and I think it'll be a big moment for him as well.
Unless, of course, he turns and screws Cody, and then there's that whole thing. They did throw that wrinkle in. Michael Cole did bring that up. It's like, can you trust a guy that you've had a, you know, history with? So I like that they at least referenced it because remember the whole Red Tete match in the Hell in a Cell? Like, these two hate each other technically, and now they're like best friends. Like, okay,
I mean things change, right? And people change. I think that's the reasonings Cody Rhodes gave, right?
Yeah,
but that's the whole point. You got 52 weeks of television. I think every single wrestler or character on Raw or SmackDown needs to have multiple layers to their character.
Some of them do, some of them do, some of them don't, but you can't cater to everybody, unfortunately, right? And this is the main difference I see between, we're comparing again, WWE and AEW. In that, AEW, you got all these links, but these stories are never told properly. So
that's why I say use what you have, use your current roster.
Yeah.
Give them all these wrinkles, give them so many stories so that they're involved.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a huge Marvel fan, right? Yeah. I never expect people to know who a lot of these characters that get introduced in the TV shows are. Because I know, most people don't have time. They just watch the movies and that's it. So you can't just suddenly introduce Loki, God of Stories, into the movies, expecting people to have watched the TV show. You have to explain it somehow in a 2-minute vignette or some shit. Loki suddenly become controller of all the timelines.
Yeah, but again, right? They did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy, introducing completely unknown characters, making them beloved, and somehow people know about them now.
Yeah, because James Gunn told the story of all their stories and made you fall in love with them. That's what AEW needs to do: better writing, better television.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead to WrestleMania, I think we would love to do some fun stuff for WrestleMania. So please stay tuned to the podcast. The week before WrestleMania, we're definitely going to preview it, and we might preview it in a very special way, Mr. Yang?
Oh, yes, we might actually lay the smackdown on each other, but you'll have to stick around to find out how exactly we do that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we talk about AEW, we talk about WWE. I think shall we transition to our quickly talk about SPW Stronghold? We just had it over the weekend. And I attended with our fellow intern, our intern extraordinaire, Saleh, and we had a very fun time there, and I'm very interested to tell you what we actually encountered over there.
I love that local wrestling is heating up again as the year progresses. By the way, a little bit later on the show, we will be chatting with SPD, Sean P. Diddy. From Grapplemax. We're going to preview Grapplemax's Amplify event, which happens this upcoming Saturday. Yeah, but now, let's rewind. Last Friday, you and our Wonder intern Saleh, you guys were at the SPW Stronghold.
Yes,
event.
Correct. And of course, as you guys know, we've been talking about it all the time. The SW20 is in play, right? The Singapore Wrestler Top 20 is in play. We were there. I was ready to take notes. I was ready to learn about all these new wrestlers that's coming through in the SPW. Our guy Saleh was all about the social media guys. So I love that connection, right? I say, Saleh, bro, you take all the IG stories. Let me be the discerning journalist. Writing all my.
Why you compare yourself with that?
Bro, that's the only
fella.
That's the only well-known wrestling journalist that we have. I mean, what, Sean Rossap?
Just be you, bro. Just you do you, bro. You do you. Okay. Anyway,
foreign the wrestling journalists. The point is, right? So the last time I went to an SPW show, we missed their Champions Never Yield in January. The last time I went was Viva La Lucha. So Viva La Lucha had Kalisto, Samurai del Sol, right? So it was built on the strength of a so-called big, international name.
Yeah.
But this one, they had their big matches, like their top stars, like Eden Rex fought against a Carlo Cannon from I'm not sure exactly what was his home promotion, but he's from Melbourne. He's apparently the MyPW World Champion as well. And then Statement had a match against the 0-1 champion, which is like a Japanese promotion, I believe, and against Chris Weiss. And I don't know whether you've managed to see Chris Weiss in person before, bro.
I have, and he's he looks the part, lah. Dude is he's jacked up Johnny Sins.
He's a jacked up tall ass Johnny Sins. He looks like Nathan Jones, bro, from back in the day.
Sure, yeah.
So I was curious to see, with all due respect to all these people, they are not like well-known international stars. They are great wrestlers, I'm sure, and they have their own following, but they're not well-known stars. So it was more of like a low-key card, I would say, and unfortunately, the crowd reflects that. It wasn't a full house, right?
Okay.
It wasn't a full house. So a lot of factors can go into it. It is Ramadan, of course.
Yes.
People
that's right.
People might not be, attending wrestling shows. We had even the Lion City cult, wrestling cult, Nina. She said she's not attending because of Ramadan. And then of course, I'm not a parent, and nor am I a student, nor am I a teacher. So I didn't know that it's currently the March holidays as well.
Correct. It is the March school holidays right now. So, there are a lot of people who travel overseas during like the 2-week break, right? So a lot of them might be in Malaysia.
Yes, correct. So shout out to Statement for hooking us up with great seats. We were ringside. And of course, we were just came off our hilarious interview with C. Kevin last week.
Yes.
And he was hinting like, hey, he might do something with that chair, with that contract,
So
on the
he
Singapore
brought down the
Championship.
chair. He was sitting there in the front row with the chair, is it?
Yeah, so to start off the match, the start of the entire event, they started off with the Singapore Championship between Black Arrow and Big T.
Wow, okay.
Right off the bat, and bro, like I'll talk about it more in our analysis on Patreon, but one of the most beloved wrestlers right now, not just in SPW, I think the whole of Singapore. This Black Arrow guy, bro.
Oh,
This Black
yeah.
Arrow, this Kama guy. I've had the pleasure to finally be able to walk out to him and like talk to him after the show. He's not really aware of the podcast. He's never been on the podcast.
Sure, yeah,
But
wow,
he-
yeah.
Yeah, but he's aware of this Singapore Wrestler Top 20 now because I told him that.
Okay.
And he knew he just found out about it after I told him. So that in no way did that play into the match because he was giving it his all, even without any incentive, bro. He was
Yeah.
just full of babyface fire and against Big T. Big T unfortunately suffered an injury during this match.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he apparently torn his meniscus. I think towards the end of the match, Black Arrow did like a frog splash, and I think he might have landed wrong on his knee or something. And you could clearly tell that something was off, and actually they ended the match way earlier than they should.
Yeah. Because of injury, which is what they should do anyway, yes.
Yeah, but he powered through the match. They managed to go to the finish. And straight away the referee called for the X. So, like you alluded to earlier, right as the match was about to start, the entrance played. C. Kevin came out with Bryson Blade with his damn chair, sat right at the top of the ring and watched the entire match. Right?
How wait, top of the ring?
Top of the stage.
Well, I'm like, what? He sit on the top turnbuckle like, hello.
No. He's a CB face, but he's not that much of a CB to interrupt the match in that way. He let the match play. So
okay.
Keyword, he let the match play while it was happening, but the moment the match ended, and like Big T was like injured and like the ref was distracted, he came in, kind of sneaked up behind Black Arrow and just lay one of those like flying uppercut Cesaro style on him.
Okay.
And proceeded to beat his ass, beat him out with the steel chair. Beat him, whack him there, and he's all for his taking, right?
Right.
But this idiot just walked away after that.
Huh?
And then he got on the mic, then he said, consider this a warning shot.
Mind games, bro. Mind game. He could have taken it, but
yeah, he was like, he even got time to shit on Big T, you know what he said or not?
What?
He said, bro, you injured bro. Why? Fasting is it? Weak Wow. Then the crowd was like, boo. There's a line you don't cross, bro. Boo.
Okay, so just you telling me that, right? Like describing it like that. I get the idea of mind games, but if you have the title within Grass, why wouldn't you just take the title? Like that kind of doesn't make sense, especially after you've been laid out with a chair. Like, shouldn't you be like, oh shit, he's down. It's time to take the title.
But I think C. Kevin, in his cockiness, in his overconfidence, in his abilities, maybe he thinks he can toy with the champion. Like, he can take his time, right? He said, no one tells me when I want to cash this in. I decide for myself, So he's making it clear, laying down a gauntlet, clearly setting up a match with Black Arrow down the road. Now that, unfortunately, Big T is out of the picture with his injury. C. Kevin is like all clear to go for the title.
Isn't the point not to actually have a one-on-one set date? Like, doesn't he want to... Like, it doesn't make logical sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The way this thing played out.
No one knows what's on C. Kevin's mind other than C. Kevin, right?
Let him cook, I guess, is the phrase. Let him cook.
Yeah. So overall, it was a good opening match. Unfortunately, the full potential of this match was hampered because of the injury. The C. Kevin presence and Bryson Blade was there, so it was fun. And I would love to grade C. Kevin, but he was technically not part of the match, so my star ratings were reserved for Big T and Black Arrow.
Yeah.
All right. So the second match on the card is actually CBK, another crowd favorite, Cheeseburger Kid, or another well-known colloquial term.
Yes.
Fighting
something kia.
Yes, something kia indeed.
Something kia.
Yeah, so CBK challenge against the guy who threatened arson on us, bro.
Okay, so yes, talk to me about Mason versus CBK.
Okay, so C. Kevin has previously talked about this up and coming tech team, this up and coming duo who's new to them, right? They new to the company. They call themselves the Midnight Bastards. Very appropriate name because this Mason guy, right? First came out, all cool with his leather. He has tattoos. Handsome fella, bro. I gotta say, respectfully handsome fella.
Okay.
Bad boy vibe, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself like, okay. He got that cocky Randy Orton, 2003 young heel kind of vibe. And he's fighting against a very established, beloved guy in CBK, who is at this point cornered by Big Good Jack.
Yes.
So they are part of this tag team called Jack and Cheese, right? And this Mason, his so-called partner is this guy called RJ.
Yep.
I think it's RJ. So
yeah,
RJ is this super skinny fella, bro. Look like he kayu like that. And then he wears shades and he wear a floral shirt. He look like he's like those probably those pimps at Geylang lah. They got that same vibe lah.
How do you know what pimps in Geylang look like, bro?
Bro, I go Geylang to eat all the time, bro.
Oh, okay. Okay, to eat, huh? Just eat.
Yeah, to eat lah.
Good to look for hall fun.
Hey, I don't like
the hall fun in Geylang is very nice. What are you talking about?
Yeah. You like fun with hall fun.
Hall fun. I love hall fun, especially in Geylang.
Okay. Thanks. I'll let your wife know that as well. Okay. Anyway, this Mason clearly the heel because before the entrance even ended for CBK, he started attacking him.
Okay.
Started beating his ass.
Right.
Clearly aggressive and clearly him and this RJ throwing in all the heel tactics. They actually like remind me of Showtime. Showtime Inc. in Grapplemax. Right? They are great. They are new, but they're great. This Mason has it, bro. He has that. Remember we talked about how SPD has that thing, that sauce, right? That he just gets wrestling. This guy, I don't know how long he's been training, whether he's relatively new or maybe he's been hanging around the scene and only recently started. But he has it, bro. You give him a couple of years, he could be the MGF. I don't know anything about his promo skills yet, save for what we saw on social media. But he has that in-ring just nastiness to it, and it's really compelling to see, bro.
So the threat of arson has nothing to do with your analysis of
no.
performance, does it?
Completely forget. No, I would dare say him threatening me with arson, like, even impresses me like even more lah. Like this guy knows what he's doing, man.
Well, this is not a road we want to go down. So don't say that.
Oh, no, I mean,
then we get all these like heels going. Oh, okay, you like that? Let's take it to the next level, bro.
No. But that aside, like I am objectively like, reviewing this match. The way, he's great at his character. I think he gets it. Of course, he needs to improve in terms of his matches, in terms of his skill set. He did take a very wicked poison runner from CBK. And CBK, like, bro, he's freaking over. Like, he is like Butcher Man level of over with the audience right now. So
right, wow.
Yeah, I know you haven't been to a SPW show for a while, but if you go there, right, if you close your eyes, you didn't know, you think he's one of the top stars in the company at this point in time. That's the amount of, people love. He's colorful. The kids love him. People like the little innuendo of his name.
His name, yeah.
Yeah, so he's great. He's a great, legitimate athlete. Like he he's in shape. He does great high flying moves. So yeah, good for him. But unfortunately, CBK. Let me see what. CBK defeated Mason, but by DQ. Because Mason not happy, take out his skinny jeans, he got a leather belt, started whipping his ass like a government knew.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, Big Good Jet would not take, any of these shenanigans, and he came and he just wiped the floor with all of them. Beat both their asses, send them out of the ring, and got on the mic, challenged both of them to a tornado tag team street fight on the next show.
Ooh. Okay, you know whose corner we have to be in for that one, lah? Who we are supporting for that one, huh?
Yeah, of course. Big Good Jet. Big Good Jet's our guy. And after the show, Jack and Cheese managed to talk to them, and they are really, really happy about this as well. And they're like, you know what? I hope you guys could see the next show because we're gonna whip their asses all for us.
Nice. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So if you've never been to the SPW show, look out for Cheeseburger Kid. You will love him, and also look out for this Mason because he might just be one of your new favorites.
Okay, there you go. What's next?
All right, so next one is an open challenge from one of the newest characters in SPW, the Ultra Luminary Ricky Malik.
Yes.
I don't know whether you remembered. I think we talked about it in my previous review of SPW. Is this one kid dressed like an ACS fella, bro?
Correct. He got a suit, he got a sweater vest.
He got a vest, he looked like he just came out of remedials. He looked like a kid, bro. I don't know how
Remedial?
old this guy.
Okay.
I don't know how old this guy, but he looks like a kid, bro.
Yeah.
But this time he got some heavy, he got muscle with him. He got this a personal trainer.
Okay.
That is his bodyguard, known as Cantona.
Who is Cantona?
I've never seen him before, except for this is the first time seeing him. He was wearing like cut off singlet, white singlet, look like a PT that I see in my Bedok camp all the time when I do my IPPT. Same vibes. He had huge arms. He definitely was a heavy. He looked perfect as a heavy. So this guy, bro, talk about getting heel hit. He doesn't even do anything, bro. He doesn't even have to say anything. He just stand in the ring. He gets Dominic Mysterio heel hit.
Really?
Yeah. So I give this guy, right, high ratings purely on his character work. Like, he was just calling people imbeciles and people were just booing. Right. And like, so he laid out an open challenge. All of a sudden, this new guy, actually it's not a new guy, it's actually Meta. Remember Meta?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he's unmasked now. So he now plays this character of the Roadie.
Okay.
Let me pull out my notes. He goes by the name of Riggs Simmons. Riggs
Riggs
Simmons. Yeah.
Simmons.
Yeah. I have no idea what is that name.
Why does he have an Angmo name? Is he Angmo?
No, he's not a Chinese fella, bro. He's a roadie. So he helps out around the ring. And
he helps the Riggs. Get it?
I get it. Yeah, maybe it's that. Like, he was in the middle of, like, he literally was helping out in the ring, like cleaning out, and suddenly when he called up this open challenge, that he stood up and like, you know what? I'm sick of you, running down the fans, running down the people in this. I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna do this match.
Okay.
And then this ultra luminary Ricky Malik turned the table and say, "Thanks for accepting my challenge, but I didn't say it was a one-on-one match. It's a handicap match with my guy."
Such a heel, such a bad guy. Okay, then.
Oh, such a heel, bro. It was just a glorified squash, lah.
So they both beat him up, lah.
Yeah, Cantona did most of the heavy work, beat his ass. This Ricky Malik was just, oohing and hemming for the audience while reading his very thick book, which all of us thought was the Bible.
Yeah.
Because it was a black book and he was just reading at the side, like, like a kid during assembly, lah.
Yeah.
I just love it, man. So they got a win and it was a fast match. And this Ricky Malik is really growing on me, but I have no idea whether he can last in a proper match or not.
I pulled up a photo of this Cantona fella. He does look a bit scary, huh? He looks jacked.
Bro, he looks jacked. He's the Batista, bro. He's the Batista to this
Devon?
guy. Devon.
Batista to the Devon?
Yeah, but I don't know whether Ricky Malik is a Devon. He reminds me of Christopher Nowinski a bit.
Okay.
That's the gimmick he's going for. That, Harvard, elite school vibe.
I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, bro. He even said this one line, damn rabak, bro. I think he was cursing the audience like, you guys must be from ITE. Wow. The crowd was like, hey, that's not nice, huh? Then you were like, fuck ACS, boo ACS, some shit like that. Like, he could have started a riot at this point in time. So that's how impressive he was. Yeah. So keep an eye out, SPW fans and people who haven't watched SPW. This Ricky Malik guy. Curious to see how he's gonna do it. Cut it in the ring in a longer match, but in terms of character, he's there, bro. He's got it.
All right, very nice.
Two impressive so-called new guys, that I seen in the match, in SPW. Yeah.
Okay, so next up, what do we have?
Okay, so this was the last match before the intermission, and I was very surprised about the placement of this match, right?
Okay.
The Statement versus Chris Vice was in the middle of the card.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was almost like the end of the intermission one. I guess.
Like end of part one, yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, Chris Vice is the 0-1 champion. 0-1 is a Japanese company. This guy is at least 6'4", maybe. He's at almost 2 meters, bro.
Bota fella, jacked up Johnny Sins.
Yeah. Everyone was going gay for him, like literally. Like there was guys in the front row like, oh my god, but he took off his clothes.
Okay.
And then he was like, oh my god, yeah, I saw you on Pornhub. Like people were screaming that.
Ah,
He was clearly enjoying it,
yeah.
because he was doing a bit of a thrusting motion whenever he
Yeah.
was out there. Yeah, he was a beast, right? And of course, when Statement came out, Statement did his shtick, just But this guy is towering over Statement, and Statement, it's already a short guy, right? But compared to Div, it really looks like Rey Mysterio versus Great Khali at this point.
Oh my god. Okay. Actually,
Yeah.
I saw a clip on Instagram, and I think
Yeah.
I know why this match was placed here. Because I did see what happened at the end. But anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah. Well, of course, we should talk about it at the end of the match. But in this match, Statement was the babyface, bro. He got his ass whooped the majority of the match.
Okay.
He got the shit chopped out of him.
Yeah.
He was taking suplexes after suplexes. This Chris Vice was like whipping him all over the ring, outside, throwing him at the apron. We all love and respect Statement, but when Statement was doing the chop to him, he's really like but
nothing.
then when Chris Vice chopped him, it was like bam! It was like gunshot, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
so the story was of an underdog local guy trying to fight back. And,
yes, correct.
Try to crawl back lah, overwhelming odds, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And there was a point in time we actually felt sorry for Statement. Like he was getting whipped so bad, and there was this one spot. And if you were there, Div Royalty, if you're in the chat, you would know what I'm talking about. This Chris Vice head-butted Statement for a shoot.
Oh, okay.
Like they were doing like a chop or like a yebu segment or what in the middle of the ring, and then like to just cut off that flurry of attacks from Statement, Chris Vice literally just headbutt him. The entire audience could hear the oh. It was crazy. I thought he got kena concussed, bro. Legit, bro. Like I've never heard that sound. You know, like when you play with your brother or something, like you play with your kids at the playground, and then like the two kids bump into each other's head, and then you hear and then you're like, hey, stop, and the kids start crying.
Yeah.
But this was a fully grown ass Australian man with like a skull that looks like it's made out of a rock, like literally slamming full force into Statement. Statement didn't want to sell it, I think, because like he stayed on his feet. But after that, he just crumbled. I think for a shoot, he just died.
or did they just pull that off very well and they sold it to you? A headbutt, just one solitary headbutt.
No, but the thing that was crazy was the sound of it. He wasn't slapping his thighs.
It was a thud, it was not like it wasn't a. It was a.
Yeah. It was a full on. And it's like I tell you, people from the second level could hear it. So people were legitimately, there was silence there. And there we go. What's up with them?
Why are there balloons?
Is it because we just hit an hour mark or something?
Is it a Zoom?
Yeah. I think it's probably like, oh, congratulations, 1 hour of recording. Boom.
Bro, we are 1 hour and 20 minutes in, but yeah, okay.
Okay. Let's power through this. So this match, this match like really painted Statement as the underdog, and he valiantly fought through it. He managed to get out of it. He did a couple of crazy stuff, bulldogs here and there. By the end of the day, like, Chris Vice overpowered him completely, overwhelmed him.
Okay.
It was a valiant attack, but it was like Brock Lesnar and John Cena SummerSlam 2014. Almost.
Wow.
Almost, yeah. So, but of course, I think the crowd really respected the effort that he made. And like even though Statement was so-called the babyface, he still was chilling it up, being confident, like not being afraid of the occasion. But sometimes someone is just overwhelming you, right? And you just gotta take the L. So shout out to him. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the after intermission part of the show. What kicked off after the intermission?
Okay. So we kick off with another, babyface favorites in the Horrors, right?
I knew it. I was like, okay, they should probably kick off the second half with a hot match, which is the Horrors versus the Natural Classics.
Yes, bro. One thing I must say, I must credit SPW for the match card, the placement, all on point on this night.
Makes
Like
sense, right?
everything built up well. And if you were playing general manager mode of 2K24, the drama graph is perfect, right?
The drama graph. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we all know there's nothing much to say about the Horrors, right? We all love them. They are great. They know their gimmick. They are crowd favorites. The natural classics, bro, really impressed me as well, right? You got Tommy Phillips. I can't remember what's their names, but they call themselves Tiger and the Phoenix. Both of them,
Stevie and Tommy Phillip?
yes, Stevie and Tommy Phillips.
Yeah.
Both of them were in shape. They both look like Riddick Moss. Remember Madcap Moss?
Yes.
Both of them look like Madcap Moss. Both of them were jacked. So like between Chris Weiss and the two of them, there was enough meat to go around that night.
All right, nice.
Yeah. And they were tall. So like in terms of the physicality, like the Horrors were at a disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
But in contrast to the previous match where I felt like Statement was always in peril at all times, this was more evenly matched. Because while the opponents from Melbourne, they had the physical advantage, but the Horrors had this unpredictability, this wildness about them in their offense, right?
Yeah.
So, Butcherman really break fast already, so he was biting them anyhow. They were doing a bunch of crazy stuff. There's a great Hurricanrana at one point. Let me see what other things they did. So they had I think Dr. Gore had a crazy helluva kick. And one thing I can appreciate great wrestling, but I can also appreciate great pacing in a match. This match was really, really well paced. And Dr. Gore, I think, has the best hot tag in Singapore, bro.
Right.
In terms of a hot tag specialist, the moment Dr. Gore came to the match, because the one taking most of the punishment was Butcherman.
Yeah.
But when Butcherman managed to make it out of that corner and go for the roll and then go for the tag, the crowd exploded, bro. Exploded. Yeah. So this was a well wrestled match. They put over the opponents, but the opponents also make the tag team champions look really, really good. And their finisher, which if you didn't know, is like a combination of like a Samoan draw. Like Butcherman had them on a fireman carry, and then Dr. Go goes for like a running claymore, and then straight away transition into a wasteland.
Right.
Pretty dope finisher move, and they got a deserved title defense.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So very, very impressed. I think they are really like they've hit like this. They are like hitting all guns slinging in terms of their timing, their character. So I really gave them really, really high ratings because
nice.
They are a clean tag team, and I think the previous CNY event they actually beat their so-called rivals, and now they are just gonna be on a year-long run. I do not know who else can dethrone them at this point.
Yeah, the thing though is like you talk about like the roster, right? Like who is another tag team in that roster that you can even think about? Like CBK and
Jack and Cheese,
Mason and RJ.
Yeah,
like, it's not because of because of the number of people that they have. It's not really a stacked tag team division as it was. So a lot of times they are competing against other tag teams from other countries.
Yeah, but I think that's fine. I think they need to elevate themselves. They need to fight against more established tag teams. I do hope they have more matches with like international stars because they actually make them look good. Like I thought the Australians made the Singapore wrestlers look really, really good. So credit to them. So
there you go. Okay, what do we have next?
Okay, so this is the second last match of the night.
The international tag team match?
Yeah, the mixed match, a mixed tag match, right?
Yeah.
Between Riz from the Wolfram Cartel, previously known as Homeless Riz, and Matcha, who is she's the setup All Asia champion.
Yeah.
Against Iman. Iman is he's a quite kind of a rookie. They call him the comeback kid. And Poppy from MyPW, bro.
Poppy from MyPW. Okay.
Yeah, so she's so I was checking out her profile. She's like Malaysia's first female wrestler.
Oh, okay. I've seen her before. Oh, hang on. So, wait. Who? Say that again. Say the match again.
So it's Iman and Poppy.
What happened to Alexis?
Okay. So you will see. So she did factor into this match somehow. Right?
Because the original announced card was Iman and Alexis versus Riz and Matcha.
Yes, correct. I'm not sure what happened to her. Could be some real life things that she couldn't officially be in the match. I'm not sure.
Oh,
But
okay.
Poppy was a last minute replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could tell, right, the makeup of the match, we had a SPW wrestler with a international female partner
Mm-hmm.
versus another SPW wrestler with an international female partner. So I don't. They have no so-called. They're not a made tag team. It was kind of thrown together.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I must say about Poppy, respectfully, is Ramadan. But she's quite the chiobu, I must say lah. Yeah. The moment she came out, right, and all the wrestlers, I mean all the fans saw her, they were like, "Oh, Poppy, Poppy." They
Bro.
were bro, I don't know, man. They were like, no, so, somebody shouted, "Alexis Lee, you look different today." Yeah,
So this is a mixed tag lah, as in the women can fight the women, the men can fight the men, and not the
they
other way lah.
well, the women fought the men, and the men did fight the women.
Oh, so it was like a mixed tag, but they can intergender like it's an intergender match.
Yeah. So they showed chemistry.
Mm.
Clearly, even though I think Homeless Reese or so-called Reese from Wolfram Cartel and the Matcha, they are baby faces, but they played the heels in this match because like everybody was just supporting, cheering for Poppy, and
Poppy
by as a by the
Association
way by
Iman.
association
Yeah.
they support Iman, right? There was this one time where like Reese like kind of like kicked Poppy in the corner.
Mm.
And the crowd started booing, and he was like, okay, I don't want to be cancelled. Then he just walked out. So that was funny. That was hilarious. It wasn't an offensive match. It was what it is. But I
It wasn't an offensive match. It's like the nicest thing you could have said about it.
yeah,
It feels like.
it was fine. It was fine, right? It's not gonna win any 5 stars, but I think they did a great job. I think introducing Poppy and the Matcha in the match. I almost felt, unfortunately, the Singapore wrestlers were kind of in the background, or like
Right.
they did stuff. They were supporting the female wrestlers. They're doing things and combinations together, tag team moves together. But yeah, I just felt the women kind of outshine the guys in the course of this match. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But at the end, by the end of the match, so I believe Matcha and Reese got the victory.
Mm-hmm.
And after the match, while they were celebrating, blah blah blah, Alexis Lee appeared, and actually Alexis Lee walked from my corner. Suddenly appeared. I was like, "Hey, Alexis, hello." She just walked past me, and she assaulted Matcha at the end of the match.
Oh.
Looking like she might be challenging for the setup All Asia Women's Championship next.
Interesting. Okay.
So
I wonder why, was it storyline, or did she have some other event or injury she couldn't perform? Whatever the case it is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure if anyone on the chat, any of the SPW wrestlers on the chat, could give us more context of why she wasn't on the show. But it's fine. It's fine. I think it didn't take away from the match. The match served its purpose, and it set up so-called this future match with Matcha.
Hey, hold on. It set up a future match. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I don't think you did that on purpose.
No, it's like me versus me, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's a serendipitous, slip, pun, whatever you want. Yeah,
it was good.
Shall we talk about the main event?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk about Poppy more, but let's move on. Let's concentrate on the main event. Yes,
bro. Okay, so Aiden Rex, the SPW Southeast Asian champion, versus Carlo Cannon. Oh, Carlo Cannon. I've not seen him before, but I've only seen him in photos and videos, and dude is massive, bro.
Bro, he is massive. We've heard inklings about this Carlo Cannon. Remember when we had John Day on the podcast last season?
Yeah.
Talking about this guy was a beast. He's like a trainer, well-known, established name in Melbourne wrestling. So when he came out, I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of get his vibe. He is like a jacked up version of Bronson Reed.
Okay. Right.
So he's not the tallest guy. He's kind of on the short side, but he was just a boulder, right?
Yeah,
boulder. Like freaking macam, bro. And I saw his promo before the event, and he cuts a great promo. And I think, I don't know whether it's because he's the one that challenged Aiden Rex, but like Aiden Rex actually did a decent return promo. Do you see?
Yes, I did on Instagram.
Yeah, he actually showed some sort of fire, like personality, I guess, in the way he responded to the challenge. So it did reflect in this match as well. Like, Carlo Cannon, he is the MyPW World Champion as well. So he is a champion from a different promotion. and he brought up like he was dominating Aiden Rex at the start, but I think he brought up a level of aggression in Aiden that I've never seen before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was out for the fight lah, in a way. Like it was a classic power versus speed situation, right? You know that, Aiden Rex won't be able to beat him in terms of like
Strength and
strength.
power. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was evading attacks. He was doing all he can to kind of like, do sling blades, one thing I rated Aiden Rex's performance really high on this night because, right, we all know so-called what he needs to work on, right, in terms of his promo, personality, charisma, blah, blah, blah. But in the ring, right, I almost forget any of it. If I were to watch Aiden Rex for the first time, I was like, holy, this guy's like world class, right? Because he is, like, I feel like he is the best or like the smoothest wrestler that Singapore has currently right now. Like, it's just the way he does his matches, right? Like, everything is well executed. He does great counters. He could struggle. There was this, he did an amazing, the one move that got the crowd off their feet was he did a top rope Spanish fly on Carlo Cannon.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was crazy. And like he grounded the guy. So there was great ring psychology there, right? He grounded Carlo Cannon, did his submissions, tried to get, an advantage. And finally, he was able to outsmart Carlo Cannon with a crucifix spin for the match.
Yes.
Yeah. So while he didn't like have a definitive win per se, he's kind of more of survived the match.
Yeah.
But, I think he was a valiant performance. And actually, I came out of that match a bigger fan of Aiden Rex than when I came in. So kudos to him.
Nice.
Yep.
Let's talk about the afterbirth because I did see that on social media.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, set up the context of how Statement suddenly showed up again.
Yeah, so Aiden got the victory, and of course Carlo was pissed, right? I was like, no, that I shouldn't have been the case. So he continued attacking him after the match, after the bell rang. Attack, and then suddenly Statement, who is clearly still recovering from that match, kind of limp into the ring and chase away Carlo Cannon. So I was like, oh, okay, the SPW founders standing tall with the current champion, giving him, defending his honor against the foreign invaders. And then as he was raising his hand up, we could almost tell. It was almost telegraphed, right?
Right.
Because I think Aiden Rex turned away the other way, and then like Statement suddenly like dropped his hands and then like turn away, look around, look over his shoulder, and then whack the fella. And I was like, you can't keep a good statement out. Okay?
Boo. So okay, big. He was always kind of a heel, but even though like he's one of those guys, like he's well respected because he's been, in the industry. He's the guy. Like you talk about Singapore wrestling, he's the guy for the longest time, right? So it's like he's always kind of been heel, but people still cheer him because he's the Statement.
Yeah. And another thing, I feel like in his introduction, they say he's the 4-time SPW Southeast Asian champion, right? So I think he's ready for his 5th title reign at this point. So
okay.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? What Statement has been doing ever since he kind of officially put over Aiden Rex was he's been kind of doing all these international matches, putting over other wrestlers. And right now, Aiden Rex doesn't have another opponent. And he's going to be the guy that if they need someone, a main eventer to put back into the scene, they're always going to put Statement back on top. It is what it is unless they build more new stars, right? So I'm not against it because that's the reality. But they do need to build more stars in SPW into the main event scene.
Like who is the next contender after this, or who could be in the mix, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought like Butcherman would eventually become a champion. I've always, CK Vin does have the potential. Big Good Jack, like there are people there who's like in the mid card who can go up.
But they're all sort of like gunning for that Singapore title right now, quote unquote, the mid card title.
Yeah. So they're all kind of tied up in their own storyline. So I think this, in the next event, we will have that title match between, Aiden and Statement. And it's going to be a big deal because I think they are the top stars in SPW and that is reflected in their position on the card, right? But overall, it was an enjoyable event. And if you want to see or read more of our analysis, go on our Patreon. We're going to have all star ratings there as well.
There you go. Talking about the Singapore top wrestlers rating, the rankings as it were at the end of the year, we will...
SW20, Singapore Wrestler Top 20.
Yes, SW20. Then what happens to those like that fall below the 20? We just don't count already.
Don't count lah. Okay, wait. So, I want to set the stage as well, right? Because to get onto the ranking list, to get into the table, you need to wrestle a minimum of 3 matches during this evaluation period, right?
Yeah.
So right now, from the time we started from February, Grapplemax has had 2 events, and they're going to their 3rd event, Amplify, right? While SPW just had this so-called officially first event in Stronghold. I heard Ring of Rebirth actually had an event, or like is taping an event. So if anyone, or Dragon, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope there's like a stream of this, so we can also get
see it.
The Ring of Rebirth wrestlers involved as well as part of the ratings as well. Because as of now, when Amplify ends, we're actually going to just see Grapplemax wrestlers in the ranking.
Yeah.
So the SPW, they need to have more events, so they can kind of get their names on the board.
I mean, and they will too. And a lot of these scores will be sort of aggregated and averaged out based on, all the Patreons that are there, watching these matches, us, if we are there watching the matches as well.
Yes, correct. So yes, to answer your question, if they don't make it to the 20, thanks guys. Hopefully next year it's better. But the more important question, Mr. Jiang, what are we going to give these wrestlers?
A high five. A hug.
Yeah, I mean, other than recognition for the list, I think it's fair. We do give the winner or the number 1 guy something, but we'll figure it out. We'll think about it.
Sure. We still have less than a year, but upwards of a year to go and figure this out.
Yeah. So speaking of which, Amplify, bro. Grapplemax.
I will be there at Amplify, so it's going to be a fun time. Speaking of which as well, yes, as we talk about it, it's happening on Saturday as you are watching this taped conversation, and we are going to chat with one of the competitors, a person who I've spoken very highly of in the past couple of weeks, right? A person who I think gets it as far as being a bad boy, being a heel is concerned. Yes. And of course, if you haven't gotten your tickets already, go check it out on their social media pages, see if you can still get tickets. But yes, joining us on the show right now from Grapplemax. Let me say that right. It's SPD. And as promised, joining us on the show today, he is SPD, better known as Sean P. Diddy from Showtime Inc. Welcome to the show, my man.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's been a minute. It's been a long while. Do you remember the last time you were here, or shall we not talk about those days?
I think it's kind of an open secret now, no?
Yeah, it's a different lifetime.
Exactly, yeah. It's in a different time, different life.
Pre-pandemic.
Shall we say
pre-pandemic?
Shall we say it's in a different universe, a multiverse, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe got multiverse now. That one different multiverse lah.
Yes.
So for local wrestling fans, if you know, you know. But we now know you as like the coke loving, drinking Sean P. Diddy from Grapplemax, yeah.
Some over here.
There you go. Hey, Coke Zero, please sponsor this man. Thank you very much.
It took me a long while. Yeah. It took me a long while to understand why you love drinking Coke. It took me a very long while, and then when I got it, I was like, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Okay, wait, let me ask you then. So what is it? Do you think? Why do I drink? Why do I like? What's the reason?
Clearly gives you the energy lah.
Right. Of course, yes.
Yeah,
well, I mean, Coke in certain circles means a certain drug, and so I guess a lot of us thought it was a play on that play on words.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, the interesting thing is, right, and we have it down there on your nameplate there, it says SPD. So they were like, all right, you can refer to him as SPD from now on. What is the story behind that? Because we all know and love, some hate, you as Sean P. Diddy for the past couple of months in Grapplemax, right? So
yes.
Tell us a little bit more about what's this. Is this like a rebrand? Is it something a little bit more catchy, SPD? Just 3 initials, easier to remember what's going on.
So let's take it back to when I first debuted, right? So like there was already another Sean.
Yes.
So I thought to like sort of separate the two of us, I added like a P behind. And then the funny thing is the other Sean's surname also starts with a P.
Sean Pang, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, it was very funny during the event at the Southern Depot, the Battle at the Barracks, right? It was like we were literally going, it's Sean versus Sean.
we have to stop. I have to stop meeting the other Sean in this kind of no holds barred matches because the other time I faced him was at the was it Settle Outside? Were you guys at Settle Outside?
Yeah.
Yes,
Young
I was
there.
Yeah.
So maybe one of these days we'll have an actual wrestling match.
I
Anyway, back to
see.
the name. So I
Yes.
used to be Sean P. Then my good friend Prabhu from Showtime Inc.
Mhm.
He was like, wouldn't it be funny if your name was PDD, like your
Like the
shoot name?
rapper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then that became my actual name for a while. But unfortunately, the news has come out that the actual PDD has been up to no good lah.
Oh dear God. Okay, because of that.
Wait, hold on. I am very out of the rap game, as
I'm
it
gonna
were.
Google this right
Can,
now.
yes, can someone fill us in on what problems and what trouble P. Diddy, Sean Combs, actually his real name, has gotten into?
So maybe trigger warning, his crimes of the not so good nature lah.
Aiyo.
Okay, I'm pulling it out. NBC News. Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexual harassment and assault by producer of his latest album.
Oh,
Okay, I
that's-
understand.
Yeah, okay,
We
there
understand.
you go. Yeah. So
Yeah,
no
so-
association. Let's move away from that.
Let's move away. Something that was supposed to be lighthearted and funny is not so
Yeah.
funny anymore.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Okay. But I feel SPD gives you a lot of leeway to create something out of that name. The acronym might mean something in the future. Is that something you want to own right now? Or are you going to let the Grapplemax fans decide for you what it's
Yeah,
going to stand
I'll
for?
let you guys decide. So it's always been like so I have certain ideas in my head, right? Like every time I think, something's gonna like I want to try something. So like it was the homeless gimmick for a while, and then after that I pulled out the Coke can, and then now the whole SPD thing. So let's see if it catches on. I think it's easy to chant also, right?
Yeah.
SPD, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I already thought of something, but it's very, very rude.
What?
So S is Sean. PD could be, there's a Malaysian Indian word for the punat. The down there. hey, if you do something dastardly, can we chant that? Sean. Okay, never mind.
It's a PG show, I think. Right? It's a
No,
PG show,
not
right?
really. No, we can go off the rails if we want to.
This is the internet, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was, I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my head. Mr. Young is clearly a very bad man. So anyway,
I think
Very
only if Prabhu approves lah. Prabhu must give you the
Yes.
He must give you the tag in to let you use it.
So even though he's the big guy, he's the smartest guy in the group.
Yeah.
Oh, so have there been names that you've been tossing around in your head that you want to reveal, or do you want to keep it close to your chest first?
Let's keep it close. So like I think if you want to talk kayfabe wise, like law wise, my name is still PDD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So it's not like a total name change.
It's very interesting because like I don't know, maybe my government abiding side just came through. I keep thinking Singapore Police Division. I don't know.
Hey, that could be something else you could transition into, gimmick wise, right?
Big boss man, Singapore
Yeah.
version.
Could be much idea also.
Yeah, that's
Right,
hilarious. Okay. Well, one thing we have to kind of set the context is, right, like, we've been doing this Singapore Wrestler Top 20 ranking recently. We've been giving star ratings to the wrestlers. Mr. Young is a huge fan of
really?
you. Have you read what he's been saying about you?
So I watched the previous episode,
Ah.
and I have
Okay.
to say, like, I was pretty touched that you feel such such a way lah.
Strong feelings.
Yeah, well, it's not because I want to, tickle your balls or anything like that, right? This is what I genuinely feel like when we are at the events and when I see what you guys do, Showtime Inc. in particular, right? Like, and I've always believed that you need good heels to make something work. Unless you have like a baby face that's like super over for whatever reason because of charisma or whatnot, right? But most of the time, you just need somebody to hate so that you will like the other guy who's beating up the guy that you hate, right? And I think that's what you guys do so well. And let's talk about, this whole idea of this persona and the things that you've picked up along the way. Where did this wrestling journey start for you?
Okay, so not many know this, but like I think it's my 9th year.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's been close to 10 years.
About a decade, yeah.
Yeah. So started out in 2015. I want to say 2015.
But where did the germ of wanting to be a wrestler and like we all have that like my
wrestling fan story.
yeah, like what was the first match you watched?
Oh wait.
Or that got you hooked? Yeah, you know?
Okay. I'm gonna pull out like a super. I'm not sure if it's obscure. But the most vivid memory I have is like going to Pokim, buying a Bad Blood VCD and
Yes.
watching the Hell in a Cell match between Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels, and then whenever there was blood, the whole screen would be black and white.
Oh,
I'm not
Oh,
sure if you
wait.
guys remember this.
I
wow.
think it's Bad Blood 2003, Triple H versus Kevin Nash,
Oh,
right?
was it not Shawn Michaels?
No, Shawn Michaels and Triple H had a match in 2004, Bad Blood.
Wow.
Ah,
Foreign
Yeah, yeah.
is the
So
I got my
encyclopedias,
wires
yeah.
crossed there.
Yeah. So which one is it, bro? Bro, nothing is too obscure for me. You just tell me, I will help you pull out the memory. Right?
Yes.
Let me do a Google
Yeah,
search.
because in 2003, Kevin Nash had this rivalry with Triple H, but it sucked lah. So according to a
Wow.
lot of people.
Wow.
So yeah, but the one that was more memorable was that 2004 blow off to the rivalry between HBK and Triple H. That was a very long ass Hell in a Cell match as well.
So I think it might be 03 because I vividly remember Kevin Nash.
Okay, that is Triple H and Kevin, because Triple H was a
Yeah.
champion at that time, and Kevin Nash
Ah
went
man,
after him.
I don't remember.
Okay. No, but this is such a core memory because we were talking to Sean, but not you, but Sean from SGAG.
Okay.
He also had these memories of like passing by like a video store and like those like Chapalang shopping mall, neighborhood shopping mall, and they always show wrestling on the TV screen. There will always be a crowd
Yes.
gathering.
Yeah.
I'm
All the
assuming that-
uncles, all the random people will just
Yeah.
stand there and watch. So,
Yeah, I'm
what
assuming that's your memory, right?
Yeah. So like I first started. No, in fact, like I first started knowing about wrestling is not from watching it, but like playing SmackDown 2 with my brother,
yes.
and then like you have zero context of who these guys are.
Mhm.
So like back then our favorite wrestlers was like Road Dogg, X-Pac, and it's only because they have like cool strikes, like they do the spinning heel kick and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then only like I think Channel 5, was it Channel 5 used to show Velocity?
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
it Velocity? Yeah. So then only
Velocity
you watch
after Burn.
Velocity, and then it was like, oh no, that was I think during the time when Kane and RVD was tagging.
Mm.
And then after that, you go to the VCD store, you say, oh my god, there's wrestling CDs, and then you buy, and then yeah. So
You've been
then
hooked ever since.
yeah, I wouldn't say hooked. Yeah, I was hooked.
So were you like on and off? Like you would watch like, or were you like hardcore? You must watch every week type of thing.
No. I was never hardcore until 2014, I think 2014, 2015 when I actually started training, and then I was like, I need to watch more.
Yeah.
But then ironically, it's like once I started wrestling more, I started to watch less.
Wrestling.
I started to follow less of the week to week and more of like the big matches. I watched the highlights and stuff like that. Just to learn from what the other guys are doing.
That what's so cool about this is that people always love wrestling or like follow wrestling, but we always ask wrestlers this question: what got you to take that big step from being a fan to the other side of the ring?
So I'm sure that both of you have wanted to be like when you were young, you wanted to be a wrestler, right? Like, the thought is in your head, right?
Yeah.
So like okay. So my memory of it was like it was the new year, 2015 is the new year, and then I was hanging out with my NS friends, and I was like asking them, "Do you think there's wrestling in Singapore?"
Okay.
So on the way home, I googled it, and then there was, and then I watched the match between Sergeant Nick and Lukman Adam.
Wow, those are some OGs, man, from SPW. Okay.
So after I watched that match, I was like, okay, yeah, let's try it. So then I went, I went to SPW website, I found the WhatsApp number. I think it was Andrew's number, message number, went for the trial. And then this was back when they were at like some CC upstairs. I'm not sure if you guys remember.
Yeah, in Yunus, right?
Yes.
CC? Yeah,
so I went for a tryout there. I managed to convince two of my other friends to try out with me. But they didn't stay lah.
Yeah.
I remember like immediately after the trial the next day, I went to school. I couldn't climb the stairs. I couldn't turn my head.
Oh wow.
And
was that bad?
And then that was when I think I like this. So then then I carried on, and then here I am now lah.
Wow. I mean, clearly you have a high tolerance to pain because when people I cannot walk, I cannot this, I won't go again.
Yeah.
But you clearly love it so much that you wanted to come back.
It's fun.
Were you always a very physical person, or was this
No,
the first sort of like real quote unquote? training that you
I've
dove
never
in.
been like very what do I call this, athletic. I haven't been like very physically fit or whatnot. So this is my first foray into like actual physical activity, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like even back in NS, I struggled to pass IPPT kind.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this makes me curious to ask, we can skip a couple of years, through your SPW days as well.
Yeah.
But also like we now know you as this very charismatic, so much
Oh, thanks.
intensity, so much passion to your performances. But here we are talking to you, and you're such a, I would say, soft-spoken person, quite a chill dude. So
Yeah.
like, where do you decide, like, what, I can put on this persona in wrestling? Is that something that's always within you, or you really had to work on it to become the person you are today?
So I really had to work on it lah. So I think deep down inside, I'm pretty shy actually, like pretty introverted. So only like when you get to know me more, then that's when the nonsense starts to come out lah.
Okay,
So
okay.
so it's back then, so open secret lah. So the reason why I kept on wearing the mask also and everything is like, this is a different person.
Ah,
Whatever
see.
you do, it's the other person that is making the mistakes. It's the other person that's taking the risk. So then I'm safe, right?
I
right.
see.
So it took me a while to like sort of, okay, this is a new opportunity for me to try to this is me now. I'm taking the risk, I'm doing the performance and everything. And if you can tell, I'm not sure if you guys watched like when I did my first ever unmasked match against Big Dave. I felt very like it was a very different experience for me. Like I felt very reserved. Like I didn't have I wasn't brave enough to like really show much intensity and emotion.
Right.
But slowly, the guys helped me. We started having more fun, and then that's when the intensity came back lah.
Yeah.
Who was instrumental in sort of guiding you along the way, or is it like a group effort when it comes to like just being the character that you are now?
So I really have to give major props to my stablemates lah. So like Julian, Showtime, Prabhu. Like outside of the shows and everything, we do hang out, we have fun. And then I think it really translates to when we are together.
Yeah, there's this
Yes.
chemistry right
Yeah.
there. So, well, just one question back to your so-called mask wrestling days, right?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever asked this question to any mask wrestler, but what is one thing, right, that people wouldn't really know until they actually wrestle under the mask that, that actually is a challenge for you, or like something that you enjoy about wrestling? I mean, in the mask, like the logistics of it, lah.
So firstly, it's hot lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hot, it's itchy. And then I made a very stupid decision to like black out the entire eye area. So it's like if you take like a mesh shirt, you put it over your face, and that's all you can see for the whole match.
Right. Oh wow.
You know
Isn't
what I
that difficult? Like,
it is, but there are some plus points to it also. So like the negatives are like, people can't see your face, they can't see your eyes, the emotion. You know what? All my emotion has to come from my mouth and my body.
Yeah.
Anything above the nose is like no go, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the good thing is I can look around and no one knows where I'm looking. So that's
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you think that whole experience has actually trained you to be more expressive within the mouthful area?
I think it has because like so I like to reflect. I like to do like watch back my matches, look at the photos, what can be better and everything. And then what you think you bring to the show is actually not what the audience sees. You might think you are giving like 120%, but like through the cameras and everything, it's actually like 80%, 90%.
Yeah.
So now I try to go a little bit more over the top, and I hope it shows lah.
No, it definitely shows, and I have always believed like there's that fine line, right? You want to go over the top so that people can notice it, but you don't want to go too over the top to a point where it becomes like, hey, this fella just act like, you know what I mean? And I think you do a very good job of towing that line, like, okay, I believe you are that much of an asshole, you're being such a douchebag, but it's not to a point where, lama, he's just, hamming it up. It's not too ham, which is what I appreciate.
Thanks for saying it.
Okay, well, we got to talk about Showtime Inc. Like tell us that germ of an idea of like how did Showtime Inc. form, because I think we probably asked Val, we probably asked Prabhu's point of view, but we never, of course, asked your point of view of how you got into the group.
So I don't want to assume that. First, let me ask you, What did they tell you?
Need to get
You
the
got-
story
you-
straight, huh?
Bro,
Yeah, we
you
need to
got
get our story straight.
you gotta watch the previous episodes, bro, for that context.
Okay,
but
okay.
Just tell us your point of view. I think it's fine.
So I think all along they wanted to group Bravo and Vel together, right? I think it's a good look, like like the charismatic mouthpiece and then the big size muscle guy.
Mm,
But then I tagged with Bravo at Fight Club during like a
Mm.
random tag match, and then I think they liked the way that we look together.
mm, mhm.
Yeah, and then I think Greg was the one who was like, there was a photo of the two of us standing next to each other. He was smiling and I was scowling, and then it was like, these two people should be together.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so since Prabhu was already going to join, then I joined up as well lah.
Were you the third member before
I
Julian?
was.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Julian is
That's
number
really-
4.
I see.
Tell us about your newest member. How is it like working with this young, ripped stud in Kelvin? How's it been?
Firstly, it's a bit jarring because do you know how old he is?
Yeah,
He-
it's
how
like
old?
21 or something, right?
He's very young, right?
He's 21 years old. Like, goodness
Yeah.
gracious.
He's a
Yeah.
kid, man.
Bro, he's
So-
a kid. Yeah.
I mentioned I've been doing it for 9 years, right?
Mm.
I am 9 years older than him.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's okay, what? Y'all are aligned in terms of,
I mean, I'm
Okay.
10 years older than he's fine. It's all
Yeah.
good.
I'm 20 years older than him.
Don't even, yeah, I would say
Don't
don't
even start.
Yeah, so it's always interesting. Like it's like traveling. It's like a time machine, right? You
Mm.
see this
Yeah.
guy, and then it's like, oh, that's how I was, back when I first started and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
like,
agree.
so it's tough lah, because there's a lot of things that you learn over the years, and then you sort of you have to train yourself to not assume that this is common sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's very fun to see his perspective on things,
Right.
how when whether or not it comes naturally and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I think it sort of helps also if, let's say, in the future, if you were to transition to coaching, training other people, you'll be like, oh, okay, so this is how other people see it,
Mm.
like how the newer guys see it. And like,
It-
I'm sure the perspective for wrestling, like between the older and the newer guys, are a little different also. So it's always nice to hear
Yeah.
what everyone's into these days.
Do you
I'm
feel
so-
like coaching or mentoring also helps you develop as a personality, as a wrestler as well? Because from my experience in the media industry, right, like being someone's mentor also reinforces certain things that you may have forgotten. As someone who's done this for a while, you're like, oh, actually, yeah, I forgot about that whole thing. Maybe I should start reincorporating that into my shtick or whatever it is. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah. It's the same throughout, like other aspects of like life also. The more you teach, the more you realize, like, you understand the basics, and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
you sort of train yourself to improve at those basics as well.
Yeah. I'm hearing like it's almost as if you're learning from him as much as he's learning from
Yeah,
you.
100%. I try to learn from everyone. So now I try to talk to everyone. I try to, like, even during training, like, I see how the way people do different things.
Mm.
Like, I wouldn't necessarily call them wrong or right. It's more of like safe or unsafe. Like,
Okay,
I wouldn't
yeah.
I wouldn't use the words wrong or right. It's safe or unsafe. So as long as you're
Mm.
safe, I will learn the different things that people do.
Like taking that blue thunder bomb on the chair at the battle at the barracks. Like, holy crap, who came up with that idea? Like, okay, let's do that. Did you pitch that?
It was me.
I somehow I knew it was going to be you, right? So I was like, Sean, like the other Sean, like too nice to have come up with that idea. Why did you want to do that spot, or why did you think that would have been a great, like, exclamation mark?
So like the way we set up this whole match was like moment to moments, right? So
Yeah.
like every moment has to be bigger
Top-
than the
Mm,
last.
Yeah.
So then we thought, so like for a no holds bars match, it's pretty, how do I say? Like the only weapons that were used were chairs.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't really have the luxury of like different things.
Mhm.
So then I thought, what could be an exclamation mark on like using chairs? And I
Yeah.
think, and I don't think I've ever seen a blue thunder bomb onto a chair before.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think
and
so.
it wasn't even a flat chair too. It's a set up chair, like a proper, So you have that quote unquote that danger of you could hit the back of the chair because the
Yeah.
chair wasn't laying flat. It was set
no.
up. Yeah, yeah.
So props to Sean Pang, he really
Mm.
kept me safe and everything. So
Yeah.
It
That's
went well.
good.
I'm still here. I'm still able to walk.
Yeah. It's almost as if like you can come across as like a hardcore wrestler, just the way you wrestle, like a brawler,
Yeah.
like almost like a Brooklyn Brawler / Sandman. But also, I feel like there's a hidden technician in you somewhere, because all your matches are always well wrestled. Especially
Yep.
remember when you did that match with Crypto Bro back in December. Yeah, it was just a well told story. So do you care more about like how you lay out a story in the match, or like you like the physicality? How we consider your style?
So to me, story is number one.
Mm.
You know, you watch back like the 80s style. It's like literally punch, 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 scoop slam. The finish is like a arm drag. You know.
Yeah.
So back in the day when I was younger, a little bit more agile. You know, I used to dream of like wrestling Japanese style. You know, doing all the fancy stuff, and then the gimmick sort of put me in this box where like I felt that I shouldn't be doing flashy things. I should just be hit, getting hit, doing stupid things, getting hit, getting reversed, and then you put the face over, everyone goes home happy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I slowly sort of lost track of what I wanted to do. And then over the years, health, I never take care of my health, never eat healthy, and then COVID and everything. And then now when I joined back, I was no longer physically able to do the stuff that I wanted to do lah.
Right.
So then, hence more brawling. But now I'm trying to get back into a better physical health. So hopefully you can see more different moves start to appear lah. Yeah.
Very
So
cool, very
it's
cool.
up to what my body is able to do. In my mind, there's so many things I want to do, but it's
Right.
really because I don't want to do something it looks like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It reminds me of how Stone Cold transitioned from like a mat technician, studying Steve, to like a brawler, because
Correct.
of injuries as well, and taking care of himself. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for sure.
Yeah.
And it also keeps you healthy. I mean, you know my stance on this whole thing, on flippy shit and stuff like that, right? It's like, tell the story first, then you accent it with, a few big moves here and there. You keep yourself healthy at the same time as well. Why not, right? I think that's a far better prospect than if you're just doing a million moves
100%.
back to back.
100%.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense, don't do it lah.
To me, the smartest wrestler in WWE right now is actually Randy Orton.
Yeah.
If you see his matches, right, how many times he take a big bump? How many times he actually put himself in danger?
Correct.
But everything looks so good.
Yeah.
So wrestle smart, I think, is always the best. People might say it's like, oh, you're lazy, you're not putting a lot of effort. But I beg to disagree. It takes a lot of effort to reel it in.
Bro, it takes a lot of effort to tell a story. Look at the WWE right now. You brought up the example of the WWE. The biggest story going in all of professional wrestling, they are just talking. They are not even freaking wrestling, for crying out loud. Just get it. They slap each other. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. Right, but it is the most over thing right now.
Bro, The Rock hasn't taken a bump this entire year yet, bro.
That's true. He the only thing he's done is beat up Jinder Mahal. That's it.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure he'll explode lah the moment he takes a bump.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Right?
so swollen.
Let's talk about what are your plans in the next couple of years, as it relates to Showtime Inc. Maybe yourself, like, are there any goals that you want to hit, milestones perhaps?
So short term, next Saturday, Amplify. Yep. So I'm gunning for that number one contendership. So
Right.
So it's like fantastic, I never got to wrestle Greg. I never got to wrestle D. I never got to wrestle Christian. I never got to wrestle Showtime.
Yeah.
Of the other 5, the only other person I've ever wrestled is Dave.
Oh.
So
wow.
At one shot, you are getting 5 fresh matchups.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, that's actually an interesting fact. I have not realized this until you said it. Like, you've actually haven't wrestled a lot of the other wrestlers, because you've always been in like the Showtime group fighting against the rivals. Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, since you brought it up, let's talk about that main event, because what SPD is referring to is the main event of Amplify, which is happening on the 23rd, which is it this weekend or next week?
Next weekend.
Next weekend,
Saturday,
yes.
right?
Oh yeah, because we're recording this in advance, so I'm like, my dates are out of whack.
When is this coming out?
Next
After
Tuesday.
the event. Okay.
No, not after the event. There will be no point.
Bro, we always preview the shows.
This is a
Yes,
preview.
with our
right.
wrestlers,
So,
yeah.
as of this airing, audience, if you're watching it right now, is this upcoming Saturday?
Yes,
Yes.
23rd.
There
Yes,
you go.
23rd, okay.
I'm not sure if there are still tickets available, but you can always go reach out to Grapplemax to check if there are tickets available. We'd love to see you there. But let's talk about that main event. So it's the Grapplemax Openweight Championship #1 contenders 6-man eliminate. So this is an elimination match. Everyone needs to be eliminated. It's not one fall to.
Nope.
Okay. So, like you mentioned, we got N-Boss Gregory, we got D, we got Christian, Big Dave, Showtime, and SPD. Huge 6-man elimination match.
Yes, absolutely.
Uh,
It's a big opportunity for me, I would say.
It is. So, okay, when I first saw the graphic, I was like, oh, hey, SPD is in this. Okay, that's interesting because you know what I feel about you as a character. But as far as your sort of quote-unquote position on the card has been thus far, right? I was like, oh, is this sort of the way that we see SPD enter the main event scene? So that's why I was very excited when I saw this. I was like, oh, okay. Do you feel like this is your chance to sort of break out from the pack, maybe?
That's the thing, right? Like it's an opportunity, at the same time it's a risk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they put you in the main event, you feel that you have to live up to certain expectations and stuff like that. So I feel that this is definitely an opportunity. You know, it's 9 years in the making and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try this time.
Who are you most who is your biggest challenge in the match in terms of the opponents? Because I mean, all you mentioned, you know, all 5 are great contenders in their own right, but who do you have your eyes on, you know, to make sure that gotta be careful of that guy.
So let's talk non-shoot lah.
Yes.
So you know, in terms of like potential to win, you know, you have Big Dave, former champ.
Mm-hmm.
You have you have Greg, you know, super experienced. You have Chris, former cruiserweight champ. You have D, always up to no good. And then you have Showtime, who is supposed to be my boss lah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a very interesting dynamic there. What's going to happen? Are you all going to team up and, you know, a championship opportunity on the line? I mean, whoa.
So if we play our cards right, you know, the 2 of us could be the final 2.
But you're not going to lay down for Showtime, are you? Huh?
I'll think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
Think about it,
Think about it, huh?
Okay.
And we all know Showtime is not above, you know, some dirty tactics. So who's to say he might not, you know, schoolboy roll you up or something while you're not paying attention, you know?
You know what? He has gotten to where he is today because, like, you know, the stuff he does works lah. So, you know, he has my respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's more about like, oh, okay, you got me. I can respect that. Is that it?
Yeah, as long as we both after the show go home together happy, and then, you know, we can talk about it after that. I think
Share a Coke.
Share a Coke. See, he's putting that out there now, but you watch on Saturday, he's going to be the one schoolboy rolling up Showtime or something like that. You just watch. This fella, don't trust.
Cannot trust.
Love it. Okay, you want to talk about the rest of the card as well. Of course, this should be the main event, and I'm actually very excited to see this. But yeah, let's talk about the rest of the people that's going to be on the show.
Can I just make a very random observation? That, you know, I'm looking at the poster for Amplify right now, right? And it has everybody's names on it. And you got, you know, Christian, Big Dave. And for D, it's just the letter D. I don't know why that just looks so weird. Visually, you know what I mean? Visually,
yeah.
Macam like, we all love you, Najwan, but it looks like Macam he accidentally put one letter there for no reason. D. Okay, anyway, yeah, that was super random, I know. Let's talk about Inglorious versus Nathaniel. And who is Titus a new guy?
Yeah, this is it's gonna be his debut, I believe.
Oh, it's a Grade 1 graduation tag team match. Wait, Greg is pulling double duty on this.
So there's a few people pulling double duty. So Greg is one of them. As we go through the card, we'll see there's more people. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this Titus fella. And is this Nathaniel's graduation match, or has he already had his?
So I think this is gonna be second or third.
Yeah,
this is his third match. Yeah,
didn't he wrestle at Battle of the Barracks?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
Battle at Barracks was his second match. He
Oh,
had
wow.
another match against YC. I think it was open house.
Ah.
I want to
Okay.
say. Yeah.
I
Okay.
loved his fire. He has a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very good energy. Like, you know, when baby faces fire up, he has a really good fire up energy, and I really
Yeah.
appreciated it.
And do you know that was his first live promo as well?
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude is good, bro.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
He's got it. He's got
Yeah.
it. That's cool.
So yeah, tell us about this Titus fella. He really looks like a fresh face. Green. I mean,
All
look
of
at him.
them look like babyface, bro.
He literally has the very definition of a baby's face. Look at him. He's smiling. He's like
So
happy to be there.
You shouldn't judge a book by its cover,
Okay,
lah.
okay. Tell me.
So like you see he's agile, he's quick, you know, watch out for like the sudden quick moves and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure he'll surprise you guys like next week. Just watch
I
out.
mean, and who better to put him through his paces than Greg and Remus, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
This is also a very interesting dynamic because Inglorious in recent days have been a little bit more crowd friendly, baby faces, as it were. But in this situation, I feel like they need to be playing the heels, right? Because you have Nathaniel, who's like the, rah-rah baby face fire. Titus is fresh face, smiling away.
Yeah,
like,
who's gonna boo him, man?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who can boo? Look at him. Such a cute boy, So I'm
Are
like,
you gonna be
it's-
bullies in this
Yeah.
situation then, right?
yeah, I think it's going to be a very
I think they
interesting
have to be, lah.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a trick they can pull out of the bag, lah. So, tell us a little bit more about Nathaniel. Have you worked much with Nathaniel other than this Barracks show?
So other than the Barracks, I've trained with him quite a
Okay.
bit. So like, he's deceptively quick for his size. He's great. Basics
How-
are really good.
How young
Sorry?
is he?
I
Is he in his early 20s as well? I'm
think he's
assuming.
in poly right now.
Wow, so he's even younger than Kelvin.
Yeah.
All these
So,
kids, I love it. The next generation.
So, random fact, his poly lecturer is my NS friend.
Oh, is it?
What?
Wow, the connections, bro. The connections.
Bro, wait, your NS friend is a poly lecturer already. So
Yeah.
he's what, in his early 30s or so, or like older?
No, actually, I wouldn't. Okay, maybe NS friend is the wrong word to use. ICT friend.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay,
he's like a
okay.
few batches before me lah.
Okay, so that's fine. Because I was thinking like, wow, now 30-year-old is a lecturer in poly. Wow.
Actually, I have friends that are doing that as well. So
Oh man,
we
wow.
old already lah.
Bro,
Yeah.
cannot. Okay, anyway.
Okay, yeah. So we got that graduation tag team match. We also got Aussie. Hey, YC is back.
Yeah, YC is
Versus Lavin and Simon Sia. Okay, it's good to see Simon back as well. He'd been away for quite a while, yeah?
Yeah. So it's tough for him lah. As you all know, he lives in Malaysia, traveling back and forth. So
So he was just
I
taking a
really-
break lah during this period, CNY and all that.
Yeah. So like
Nice.
super respect, his work ethic, coming down and everything for training,
Yeah,
for shows.
for
'Cause
sure.
For show, it's not just a one-time show commitment. You have to come down, you have
Yeah.
to put in the work, this and that. So like wow,
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll be able to do it like if I was him.
We here are big fans of Simon as well. I mean, talking about people with babyface fire, talking about people with great athleticism. He's one of them. Tell us about this tag team with Lavin. Like, what do you think their dynamic is gonna be like? Because I think it's the first time they're officially teaming together,
Yeah.
right?
So Lavin, as you know, he's like more grounded, more technical, more ground and pound, more strikes and everything. So I think it's gonna be like an interesting dynamic where Lavin will sort of like lay like the first combo hit for
Yeah.
Simon to like follow up and do like all his jumping and stuff like that. I think it'll be a nice fun match lah. I think.
Yeah. You know what I want to call them? I want to call them surf and turf because they are literally two very different styles of wrestlers.
Very
You have
different,
the
very
MMA guy and you have the high risk, high reward, high flyer in Simon. So I'm like, did I just name them?
That's a very cool name.
Surf and turf.
Surf and turf. So
Well,
who's
well-
surfing? Who's turfing? That's the question.
Surf is the Simon because Lavin can be the meat, right? He can
I
be
see.
the beef.
I see. Okay.
So it's an interesting dynamic as well, this match, because they're both like crowd favorites as well, right? Both
Yeah,
Aussie, and Lavin and Simon. So
Yeah. So it's gonna be like a classic face versus face kind of match. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens.
I got a question for Grapplemax as a whole. I don't know whether you can answer it.
Yeah, I'll try.
Is the there's the number of babyface versus babyface matches, the number of heel versus heel matches. Is there not enough babyfaces and heels on one side that you all can't pair each other up properly, or what's this story you all trying to tell? with so
So
many
it's-
baby faces together.
So I can't speak for like the whoever's putting up the show and stuff like, because it's like
Mhm.
I can't assume like what's going through their head, but like it can't be easy, right?
No.
Like
Mhm.
if you split the roster into like the faces and the heel, you sort of see that the same matchups
Yeah.
start to appear again and again and again.
Mhm, mhm,
So I think, it's a way to keep things fresh.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
okay.
it speaks to the performance also lah, to be able to pull it off,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
tell the story they want to tell. But
I mean,
we see how it goes lah.
I don't mind, like, when you're heel versus heel, and then within the context of the match, somebody ends up being a babyface just
Mhm.
by default. Like you
Mhm.
saw Dom Mysterio versus Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were kind of feeling sorry for Dom,
Dom.
getting beaten up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I'm not saying that it's not bad
Yeah,
or
yeah,
bad
yeah.
thing, but I think I get the challenge, but I also feel like if it was not used all the time, I think it would be even more effective.
Yeah.
Like
I see.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those inevitable things as well when you're talking about a slightly smaller roster, right? Like, it's bound to happen lah. So yeah, you guys are right. It absolutely boils down to what is the story they are going to tell. Like, is Lavin going to show a more, heelish, more vicious side of himself? Same for Simon. Maybe that's how they play it off. We'll have to wait and see lah.
Yeah, it could be interesting lah. Similar to when was it when Mingray tagged with Bravo?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
No one's gonna boo Mingray.
yeah.
Yeah. We've established that.
Yeah. So it could be an interesting dynamic there also.
Yeah,
Like
but
a face tagging with a heel.
nobody's gonna boo Aussie as well. So it's like it's really up to Lavin and Simon to be the ones getting booed. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I'm also curious as well. Like, we've been hearing rumblings of this tag team tournament, tag
Yeah.
team championship that's coming up. Is there going to be any news? Do you have any tea to share on when this will actually happen?
All I can say is stay tuned.
Ooh, okay.
Let's talk about this singles match. Interestingly, okay, so they all have corners as well. Big Dave with Ban versus Joses with D. So talking about pulling double duty, Big Dave is pulling double duty here. We thought he would take a break after because he has injuries and stuff like that. After he lost the title to Wilson, but he's been there every single event, yeah.
But wrestling smartly though, I don't think he's
yeah.
putting as much of a workhorse like crazy performance as he did as champion.
Wait, are you
there.
saying he's lazy?
You can't say that, man.
Bro, don't put words in my mouth. I don't want to get in trouble with more
I'm
wrestlers.
trying to throw foreign under the bus. I'm kidding. It's all jokes.
No,
Okay.
He's wrestling smartly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, okay, it's an interesting dynamic that Big Dave and Ban has right now. It makes that whole, relationship very unique, right? In that Dave is not above, underhanded tactics, cheating a bit. Whereas Ban is like, no, I want to do things right. So, you have Dave going up against Joses. Also, something I noticed at the Battle at the Barracks, right? And I don't know if it's a new thing. You can shed some light on the eyeliner. What's going on with that? Is that his new thing? Because I don't remember him ever having eyeliner. And then I was at Battle at the Barracks and I'm like, is that Joseph? Why is he going full punk rock? What's going on?
So he pulls it off pretty well, right? Actually.
He does. I was kind of hoping for maybe he should wear a wig with the eyeliner. It might sell the alt rocker look a bit better lah. But what's the deal with that? Do you know?
So I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see if he pulls it out the next Saturday, and then you'll know it's a thing.
Bro,
Right?
I'm pretty sure it's just for the Battle of the Barracks because it's supposed to be a grunge event. Is it not?
Maybe.
Yeah, but the place, I was talking about this with Greg, right? The place looks so nice. It's too corporate to be grungy, to be a Raw Underground situation.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to mess the place up. I wanted to use the dustbins and everything.
Oh my god, using a dustbin would have been epic, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been dope. Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, tell us about this match.
I mean, these guys, they've been wrestling quite a bit. I myself has faced Joses 3-4 times already.
Yeah.
And Joses, what can I say about Joses? He's always entertaining lah. The whole straps thing, the head thing. And then you pair up with someone who's a bit more serious. I would say the wrestling style is a bit more serious. So 100% is gonna be entertaining for sure. You see the serious guy try to pull off certain things, and then you see Joses. And I would say I think Joses is the biggest underdog in Grapplemax right now. I feel that he has that amazing underdog energy, and yeah, everyone just wants to see Joseph pull off the win. So you see what happens lah.
Okay, this is a crazy comparison. Correct me if I'm wrong. This match feels like Triple H versus Eugene, bro. I tell you, bro. This Dave, he one time get pissed off by Joseph. I think gonna beat his ass like crazy, bro. I'm very worried for Joseph right now. His chances in this match.
So are you saying that D is like the Rock who's going to come and help Eugene?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who is in the background, like what roles they play, lah.
Yeah.
Whether Bun is Ric Flair, I also don't know.
No. Bun is the young guy who doesn't want to do things wrong. Remember?
Oh yeah, so he's Maven, lah. He's
Maven, goodness.
Wow, these comparisons.
all
my
these
God.
throwbacks. Yeah. But we've talked about how Joseph is, he has this babyface fire, but we are worried because there's a fine line between like, being lovable but transitioning into like a complete comedy character that can be taken seriously. So there's that line you kind of have to find in his character performance for now. I don't know, maybe fighting somebody like Dave can bring out that serious side in him that, that fighting spirit as well. So
yeah.
Or maybe the eyeliner.
Definitely have to pull out something in order to, match Dave's intensity and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what he does.
All right.
Very cool. So is that the whole card? Because I'm looking at the Instagram, you guys' Instagram right now. Those are the matches I see.
Tag matches.
The tag match. Tag match is Aussie.
Yeah, that was the tag.
Oh, that was a tag match. Okay, so there you go. I mean, as it is right now, that main event is going to be like, it's going to be huge because it's an elimination match, right?
And I'm assuming everyone is going to be in the ring at the same time?
Yeah.
During this match?
I guess.
Wow.
It's not like a gauntlet situation, right?
I am not 100% sure.
Okay.
You see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a match that everyone starts all at once in the ring and then one by one they need to be eliminated. So it doesn't say gauntlet anywhere. So we could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you just have to come to Amplify on Saturday and then see how it goes lah.
Okay, one last question to you, SPD. Like, by the end of 2024, do you think you'll be a champion by then? Putting you on the spot, bro.
Do I think or do I want? It's two different.
Okay, tell me what you want, what you really want. Let's go.
Did you just quote Spice Girls?
Yeah, man.
So random.
I don't think there's any wrestler out there who doesn't want to be a champion, right? It's like recognition from the fans, recognition from the promotion that you are good enough to represent them lah. So if you're asking me if I want to be at that level to represent the promotion, yeah, of course I do. Do I think I will be champion by the end of the year? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
What would SPD, as in the character, say to that question? Because right now we are getting, we're getting the shy boy, introvert answer, right? Like that's, But what would, Sean P.
You're
Diddy...
making me cut a promo in the middle of my office right now.
Yeah, just do it. I want you to go all out, Hulk Hogan, bro.
He's like looking around.
My boss is over there.
Oh, okay. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah. I think we know what Sean P. Diddyus or whatever.
I'm sure this guy that has 3 letters for his name, he would say that not only will he be champion by the end of the year, he will be #1 contender. And then the very first chance he gets, he's gonna beat Hotshot for the championship. That's what SPD is gonna say.
Bro,
I'm sure of it.
SPD versus Wilson for the title sounds like a mouth-watering match, bro.
Can I just say I freaking love Hotshot. I've been a fan of him since the very beginning, and he's one of like my bucket list opponents. He's great. I hope to be able to wrestle him one day.
Awesome. Love it.
Okay. Dude, thank you so much for taking the time out on a day like this to chat with us. It's been a long time coming for your return to the podcast.
Yeah.
That-
It was a fun time, the previous time back in the studio and everything, and then we were just like talking nonsense the whole time. I don't even think I was being genuine for one moment.
No,
Yeah.
no,
You know what I mean?
no. The second it happened, I was like, oh, so we are going full kayfabe. Okay lah, just
love
play
it.
along lah. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to know, the episode is actually up on our YouTube. We've uploaded all our old episodes. So if you
Yeah.
can somehow find it, I'm be happy to share it with you and like see the difference
Oh
in
my goodness.
this interview
night
and
and
that.
day.
Open
Yeah.
open
The real
secret,
me.
open secret.
Open secret. If you know,
Yeah.
you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, thank you once again so much for taking the time out. We really, really appreciate it. We can't wait to catch you. If you haven't already, by the way, you listening right now, get your tickets for Amplify. It's happening this Saturday. And come have fun with us. Watch some pro wrestling.
Yes, always fun time. Please come and support the show.
Bring 'em back!